was the go live button always takes way longer YouTube side than it does Twitch. Don't know why that's the case, but there we are. Stream's up. How's it going, everyone? Get to stare at the title screen where Tamarin's legs are pretty questionable. If you look at where her legs attach to her hips, you realize it's not anatomically correct. It's not good. And I know people have talked about Laya's hand, which I think is less egregious, but like again, yeah, like your thumb would be like kind of squished if that's how it actually was. So yeah, it's enough of that. Let's get into it. All right. Hey, there you go. Epic 7 App Gallery EU Challenger Cup registration period. This is an event, I believe, that is being sponsored by Huawei and Smilegate, and I know that Tristan and Carr and a number of other people that I respect and am friends with in the space are promoting that, so that's definitely something to check out. By the way, I did vote for this. Sorry if you guys didn't vote for this. Like, I voted for Elvira. It's pretty obvious. Like, sorry, you Fine fans. Elvira is where it's at right now. She's the new hotness, like literally the actual hotness. I'm hoping to see more from her in these story chapters that we're going to play tonight. That's some ominous music. What track is this? It's a Moonlight Theater track? Dark Star's Blessing. I don't think I've heard this before. That came in kind of ominous, no? Right? And yeah, for my YouTube fam out there, when you guys like come in, it would be super helpful and appreciated if you guys could thumbs up, leave a like on the stream. It does increase visibility to let people know that I am live, so I do appreciate that. Do my weeklies real fast. Make sure I got everything done right. Okay, I've already done all my donos for today. Where are they even announcing these surveys? I noticed it on Facebook. Is where I noticed it from, of all times. Not even questions on the week on Orbis Overdrive anymore. Yeah. Orbis Overdrive, I still think is a pretty quality product, though. I think it's one of the best things that we still have in the community as far as, like, interaction, transparency, and, like, fun things. I wish they would bring back World's End Podcast. I don't know if they've done that. Since Mashu and Luca left, right? Also, forgive me for like any like congestion or coughing. I don't know what it is. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather today, so apologies in advance. But yeah, let's do. While we wait for some people, because I got full stamina.
Not many can be trusted with a task like this.
Let's do some expos. And then we can proceed with the topic of today, which is I want to catch up on episode 5, the story, right? I want to catch up on the story. Because I've heard people try to talk about it around me, and I haven't cleared it, and I want to see if it's actually like good. Because like the setup was solid, right? So much better than before, and I haven't played the last 2 chapters. So it's definitely something I want to do.
Oh, you think it's too much to handle alone? Don't worry, you'll have plenty of help.
Yep, plenty of stamina also. Lore stream, no weighing. I mean, we gotta do what we gotta do, man. At one point, this story was actually really good.
Time has come.
Episode 1 story, episode 2 story, pretty decent. Like great concept, not the best execute, but was pretty decent at one point. Somewhere around episode 3, I think is when we started to lose our way, though. If I'm being honest.
There is no mercy.
You know what? I'm gonna blame it on Urvalin.
This is why.
Urvalin is the reason everything went south. Nobody likes Urvalin. Urvalin is probably the worst part of episode 3. The fact that our current New Year's event is based around Orvala, like, bro, get it through your head, guys, over there. Smilegate, Super Crater. Nobody likes Orvala. This is where somebody's gonna watch the VOD and they're gonna comment later or afterwards, being like, "Well, I like Orvala."
Several other expeditions hard at work.
It's like the people who tell me Orvala and Cleve is real, and to them I say it can't hurt me, and it can't hurt my viewers either. All right.
Out of respect, I'll use all my might. There's nothing more absurd.
Has anyone else actually finished the ladder? Like, how is the ladder for this feel for you guys? For expos and stuff.
There is no mercy. In a real fight. I'll take you somewhere nice.
I feel like
So be good and follow
people would just like, we'll see how it goes later on in the month, but I'm afraid that people will stop running expos because they'll be like, I'm already done.
How about we try a little harder?
And with the increased stamina cost, nobody's gonna want to play it. It is in fact PvE days. Okay, we're gonna try
From me. Hope. Nice.
as much PvE as we can get out of it, right? I've been told by Tristan Wolf that PvE is in right now. Granted, I'm in the wrong PvE content.
You
but-
degrade yourself further.
That's fair, White Base. Like, I see other games do it. I know I bring it up a lot, guys, girls, amongst my viewers. I bring up Nikke a lot, and it's because Nikke is kind of just making all the right moves in the space, and it makes me so envious, like, playing Epic 7 and going like, damn, that could be us. But, like, their story still has animated cutscenes, and they're just so well done, and they convey so much in so little for the story.
For your
Like, I think it's like chapter 17 or chapter 18 of Nikke's story, the cutscene with Laplace, where she talks about what it means to be a hero.
But it seems
That
I have no
cutscene,
choice.
that was the moment where I knew, like, damn, this game, they care about its story and its world building. Right? I'm not even, like, no cap, like, straight out, like, I have shown that to people at Smilegate, that scene. And I have gotten the nod of approval, like, huh, yeah. Now, granted, are those people still with the company? But yeah, I've definitely shown it to people. Because, like, that's what I want to see in my game.
Absurd than the arrogance of a fool.
Yeah, looking at Twitch your account, you feel like RTA is definitely up. I mean, the season just started. I think just people are burnt out because, like, we're waiting for all these new characters to come in.
Like this. Lucky we've got
Right?
you.
People people really want to change. Like, last season, like I said in my review of the season, I did 2 videos now talking about the last season that we just had, the Insight season. It's rough. And so if you're like playing to climb, it's pretty frustrating. If you're playing just to have fun, the game's still fun. Like, I still have fun playing RTA. But I want to play, like, things that I don't play often. Like, that's why you saw me, like, pick first things like Sharoon. Right?
You degrade yourself further.
Sorry.
Candy and Euphine still exist in meta. It's still bad.
There is no
You downloaded Blue
mercy.
Archive today, and the opening sequence is fully voiced, and it feels just like an anime.
Take you somewhere nice.
Okay.
So be good and follow me.
I don't know. I hear a lot about
This
Blue Archive. From my understanding of it, this game feels like incredibly based, especially with like the fighting of censorship and how positive everybody speaks about the game from its community. Yo, what's going on, Dion? And Joel? I am doing well, kind of. I'm a little under the weather. Like, I have a lot of congestion. I'm sure people notice it when you watch my videos. Like, just in general, I just have like just congestion problems like all the time. Like, I take medicine for it. It makes it a lot better, but it's still rough. Like, I'm having like a flare up. It's kind of hard to breathe.
I have no mercy to spare.
So you have to apologize if I, like,
reckless
you know,
greed.
basically get something caught in my throat. I don't know about that, White Base. I don't know if they're the only ones that keel to it. There's definitely games that do.
Brought unrest to the sanctuary.
Obviously, like, you know, it depends on
Don't
the
forget to pick up
circumstances,
rewards
right?
from your last expedition.
Like everybody knows, like Genshin got censored back in the day by basically mandates, right? Nothing they can do about that. Can't really hold that against them. But yeah, seeing like what Blue Archive players accomplished last year, I was like, damn, that's pretty good. To be fair,
May the holy
right? Not to like
save
make
us
Epic
all.
7 look bad by comparison, but
Don't take
I
it
think everybody
personally.
like stood up and took notice last year with Awakened Potential for sure. Like I saw nothing but people going like, huh, that's actually impressive. They actually forced change. The number one sentiment I kept seeing was like, never say that complaining doesn't get anything done. Because people are always like doom and gloom, and when change actually happens through community effort, it's like, hey, yeah, you know, we got there.
Don't look down on me.
True, White Base. That I will say that. Seeing what Nikkei gets away with for a game that's marketed as 12 plus, you do feel bad for E7 by comparison. The thing is, though, Nikkei is just making so much money right now. It is actually crazy, if I'm being honest with y'all. Like,
Don't forget to pick up
it's
rewards
actually
from your
crazy.
last
Like, it is.
expedition.
Last month, I believe it made more money than Honkai Star Rail. Like, it is actually just, like, destroying right now. Well, not even, White Base, it's not even just, like, you could say, like, oh, Nikkei's paying people off, or, like, you know, it's the fan service, right? But,
Here comes the grand
again, I'm so envious of that game because of everything that it feels like they're doing right. Because, like, I played it when it first came out because I saw, like, Valky was playing it, and he dropped it because it was missing a lot of things. And like right when I jumped in and he was leaving, a bunch of quality life changes came through to the game because people weren't happy with the state of the game. And the devs like fixed it like lightning fast, like within 1 or 2 months. And then anytime anyone voices a concern, like you just get, it gets fixed. And then they add more stuff on top of it. It's a really like crazy feeling. Like, oh, new character comes out, they're not good. Within like 2 days, it gets buffed. Right? Like, it gets buffed, and then, like, they throw in more stuff on top of it. Like, oh, yeah, our bad character sucks. Here's a buff and more content. And then Nikkei also won a bunch of, like, technical excellence awards. Like, for the Korean Game Awards, Nikkei won a lot of stuff.
You'll be destroyed.
Surprisingly.
Bombs away. Oops. Did I forget to ask first?
Yeah, well, so here's the thing. The one thing is, again, to be fair to Epic 7, is that Epic 7 is primarily a PvP-based gacha game. Yes, Nikkei has PvP, but it's like kind of an afterthought, let's be real. Like, nobody really takes it seriously. Right? Only like the biggest whales really take it seriously. What makes that game good is it's a comfy, cozy PvE game at its core. It's not quite the same. Right? So it's a lot harder to balance E7 because you're balancing for player versus player as opposed to, you know, versus AI, right? Versus the CPU. But I do agree, 8 weeks is too long for balance cycles. It should be either 6, and if it's got to stay 8, they need to add more, right? Dion says that they're trying to collect all the units. 265 and 316. You do like the grind? I mean, that's the one thing I will say about E7. If you like grindy games, this is a very, very grindy game.
Not many can be trusted.
I think the grind is a little bit too high right now. You know, personally, like I've definitely played grindier games. People say it's like, oh, because you don't really like grindy games. I played Final Fantasy 11 for 6 years. The game is brutally difficult in terms of grind.
Depending on what you've overcome.
Like, you guys think it's hard to progress in this game, you should try to play that game without any input, without any guides. Right? That is one of the most sink or swim games I've ever seen. It's probably the most sink or swim game I've ever played. Because if you don't know what you're doing, you will very quickly not be able to get anywhere. Like, you will very quickly hit a wall. You could play the game for like the first 10 levels. Second you hit level 11, you better know what you're doing, because otherwise you will struggle. for days or weeks. Right? Alright, White Base in the chat knows exactly what I'm talking about. Valkyrie Dunes. It's exactly at the second you hit the dunes. If you don't know what you're doing, oh man, you are gonna suffer. It's gonna be a time. So for those of you who are wondering, who don't know, didn't play, so Dunes is like the first like real zone in Final Fantasy XI back in the day where you start partying with other players, like, you know, the whole MMORPG aspect, the part where you start actually getting in parties. And a lot of people are new. They don't understand the game's mechanics. They don't understand proper gearing. They don't understand like resource management, how to mitigate aggro. Like a lot of things just get heaped onto you at once. And you will die very easily and cause other players to die very easily. And it causes a lot of stress amongst total strangers. And people like legit get mad and toxic very, very quickly. And that is like, that portion of the game, it weeds out a lot of people. And so what ends up happening is once you get past Dunes, it's a little bit more seasoned players, and as you get higher and higher and higher level, as you progress towards the end game, you start to like see like the people who are actually at the end game are the people that actually know what they're doing, and like you can legitimately tell when somebody is good at the game because of like they've one made it to the end game, and two, like you could see their accomplishments, what their gear looks like, how they play the game. And I was like, damn. So you could absolutely tell the difference between how good or bad someone is at the game, like at a glance. Yo, what's going on, Xena? Sorry, I got off on a little tangent there, but yeah. Like, the difference between like a new white mage versus a mid-level white mage versus an endgame white mage versus a good endgame white mage, like there are just leagues, like whole oceans, it feels like, between those skill gaps. That's why I really, really, really liked that game. But I recognize that that game was, by a lot of people's measures, like a lot of mainstream coverage of that game, it did not have good reviews. I remember, for those of you who are old enough to remember X-Play from G4, they gave it a 1 out of 5. Because they said it was just so brutally difficult because the people reviewing the game couldn't even make it out of the first zone. They straight up couldn't make it out of the first zone, so they gave it a 1 out of 5. Dunes is the second zone. That's to give you an idea of how hard it is. Like, imagine playing Epic 7 and right after you get your selective summons, you can't even beat Arbiter Vildred in Chapter 1. Do you have any idea how many people would just rage quit right there? Like, imagine if he was so difficult and you had to have, like, fully geared parties and stuff to beat him. That's what it's like playing that game. Yeah, all the quitters and captures went to WoW. Yeah, I remember that. Like, when WoW came out, like, 11 took a huge, huge hit to its player base. For sure. Let's do 2 more of these, and then at this point we got enough people in here. I think we could start moving and moseying.
Plenty of help.
Moving on to story. Yo, hey Sue, how important is the story in a game like Epic 7, would you say? Alright, I think, me personally, I think a story is important. But I know other friends that I have, they don't care about a story. They only care about, you know, does it look cool? Does it have good music? You know, good presentation? Is it fun to play? Is it, you know, grindy? Like, how much time can I spend? Like, they want to know about, like, other things in the story. To them, the story is whatever. Their best friend is, as we call it, Skip Coon, which is the button in the top right-hand corner. That's all they care about. They don't care about that stuff. But for me, like, I think it's important because if I don't care about your characters and your world, how do you expect me to take your game seriously? Like, if you don't take it seriously, I can't take it seriously. Yeah, 4 did suck. Yeah, Evan. So what I was saying earlier is I'm blaming everything on the story for those of you guys who missed it. I'm blaming it all on Urvalin because I think the introduction of Urvalin is where I started to go like, yeah, this story sucks.
My lady.
I'm definitely gonna die because my bloodstone's on Landy for Ancient Inheritance. I don't actually have any healing right now. Does anyone like Urvalin? No, I don't know, Sputnik. Also, welcome on in.
Oh, you think it's too much to handle alone?
Bro, I played EverQuest and I find FF11 too. Yeah, I try to explain that to people. Like, FF11 was a reskin of EverQuest, but they made the difficulty significantly harder, right? Came back out. I meant to do at least
There are
one more.
already several other expedition teams.
Yeah, 11 was really intimidating. I was, on the server I was on, I was one of the best healers pretty much in the entire server. And I remember people used to say my job was, like, easy. And I was like, bro, do you have any idea how hard it is to put up Barfira before Cerberus uses one of his moves? Like, I literally have a 1-second window to save your ass. Don't you tell me this game is hard, or game is easy. That my job is easy. Almost tempted to check out EverQuest just because of that reference.
With each meaningless outburst. You
I was
degrade
one of the, yeah, he is Joffrey. Evan, you nailed it. He's Joffrey.
I have no choice. Enough.
You like story arc 3? You like the Game of Thrones aspect of it? I mean, yeah. But my thing is, like, alright, so Urvalin is like an annoying character. Like, in my opinion, I think he's a really annoying character. And I didn't think he did any favors to the narrative. He just made it busier, right? So, episode 3 has a lot of storylines going on, right? So, it's got Cecilia versus Ilanav for the control of the throne. It's got Mort wanting to fight Raz, right? It's got Alencia and Senya, right? And, like, trying to reconcile that whole thing. You've got Politis with Bellion. You've got Edda and Politis as a dynamic. You have Urvalin and, what's his name? It's like,
I have no
is it Schnee? I don't remember the guy's name. I can't, the guy, he's literally like the current king of Lafundos, right? You have, Roman and his sister. You have Tywin,
This is going to
right?
hurt.
There's a lot going on in that story.
I'll take you
Schneal.
somewhere nice. Don't
Schneal?
be good
Okay.
and follow me.
Yeah, so it's like there's a lot of things going on, and then you have Urvalin and Luna, right? Luna and Euphine, like it's a huge web of stuff. And the thing is, Urvalin is like considered one of the pillars of that story. So it's Urvalin is one, Mort is another, Policia is another, right? That's kind of like the three
The
pillars.
time has come.
It's the dragons with Mort, right? It's Lafundos with Urvalin. Policia is its own separate thing, like Politis and Bellion.
I have
And-
no mercy to spare.
Obviously, Bellion ends up being the antagonist of that
For your
story.
reckless
Spoilers,
greed.
sorry, it's been years, right? It's been like 2 to 3 years at this point. So, like, obviously, they get a lot of the priority. A lot of people are not happy because Mort really felt like he should have been the centerpiece of that narrative. And he wasn't, and the way they kind of did him in was kind of,
There's nothing
like, his resolution as a character, not the best.
than the arrogance of a
And then you get to Urvalin, and he's just so smug, and he just comes off as so arrogant and so evil and so bratty. And then they tie him to a fan favorite character, and it's like, it doesn't really work. Like, they're trying to shoehorn this dynamic. Like, look, guys, Luna and Urvalin are exactly the same. And that makes me go like, no, I really don't think they're anything alike.
You
And then the
degrade
payoff, right? Can we talk about the payoff? The payoff for Urvalin being the way he is. His whole storyline is, the king didn't like my mom. That's literally the whole payoff for the character. You didn't like my mom. Like, what is that? So, like, that's why I think just nobody cares about Urvalin. Like, he's not really the best in PvE. His PvP presence is non-existent. He comes off as annoying. His character design is
me power.
questionable, at least in my book, right?
I have no
And then he has no emotional, like, resonance or payoff
For
in his
your
story.
reckless greed.
He offered his life to help out, which makes no sense, right? Like, he offered to help Bellion. Give his life to Bellion. And what for? To spite a person who has done nothing but good for you your entire life. Like, has taken care of you when you were a child, gave you everything. But that person disrespected your mom, like, in one conversation. Like, Like, you guys were having dinner,
Out of respect,
and
I'll use
like
all
he was like, you know what? Like, I don't really agree with this thing you said. And he's just like, how dare you? And he makes it his life mission. His life's mission to exact vengeance for that one moment. And to be honest, let's be real. They dive into Ervalin's mom and what kind of person she is. She is not a good person. Like, I get it's your mom, but like, let's be objective. Like, you even say, like, you know that she's in the wrong. But like, you can't let the disrespect slide. So, basically, this kid overthrew a kingdom and got countless people killed. And many others, like, in danger of like, actual mortal peril over his mom. It sounds like, yeah, this character sounds pretty Joffrey-like to me. It's not that he didn't like his mom. The king's other wife called out his mom for abusing her child. The king casted her into the streets where she suffered and died. Okay. Okay, yeah. I mean, like I said, I guess, okay. That is fair, yes. If it did really go down like that, it's been a while. If it really did go down like that, then sure, I could see, like, he kinda, sorta killed your mom, like, indirectly, right? Like, he put your mom in the situation that puts her in a situation where she could die. But, like, bro, you were miserable. She was beating you. He was actively helping you. You even liked the guy. Like, situations like that are really hard to pull off in writing. Like, you need to be a damn good writer with a lot of runway to get people to buy into that. And this game does not have the runway for that. So yeah, there's my rant on Ervalin and why he is bad. Yo, what is this? Yo, and you have a reforge on this still? You can make a swap, right? For flat? Those pieces a banger. So I can go what? 8 health, 7 crit damage, 9 speed, 24 crit chance. On Destro, attack percentage main. Seems good. ATK says, and yet somehow, as bad as Ervalin's characterization was, episode 4 managed to be even worse. Like, you know what's like the craziest part about episode 4 is that episode 4 was delayed to work on it, and it came out looking that way. That's the hard part, man. That's the thing that gets me every day. Like, I really, like, don't have many night, like, I mean, the playable characters that came out of episode 4 pretty good, like, but aside from, like, Hua Yang, yeah, probably just Hua Yang. I think aside from Hua Yang, I don't think I have anything nice narratively to say about episode 4. I don't think that there is, like, any good characters. No, because the problem is Arunca is just Red Cecilia reskinned as a cat girl. My second favorite character in episode 4 is Peyra, but she's, let's be honest, she's Luna if she was a wolf girl instead of a dragon girl. She's exactly the same character. Like, Peyra is exactly the same character as Luna. They were just like, huh. Remove dragon tail and horns, add wolf tail and ears, ship it. That's the whole character. Like, just think about the dynamic between Cecilia and Luna. And then look at the dynamic between Arunca and Peyra, and it's the same character arc. Oh, something bad happened to the one person's family member, and now they're, like, cast in a negative light, and they might be the bad guy, but it's okay. I can save you. Just talk to me, and we can rebuild that relationship. That's literally both of their storylines. Like, all 4 of those characters, that's their whole storyline summarized right there. My big issue was Cecilia never earned the right to be queen through ritual by combat like Ilanav did. That's true, and it should have been explored more. Like, that should have been explored more. Ilanav technically had the right. The tradition from that I believe, what is it? Sanya was the first one, right? The first Dragon Knight. The tradition is trial by combat. Mom won through trial by combat. Cecilia didn't. Although, to be fair, they did give you that whole thing about how if it really came down to it, Cecilia versus Ilanav, if Cecilia actually, her heart was in it, she would have bodied Ilanav. They, like, when Cecilia loses, you're like, oh, that sucks. Like, this Ilanav must be crazy powerful. And then they reveal later on in the story, it's because Cecilia's heart wasn't in it. And then once she fights with, like, you know, actual resolve, she just destroys Ilanav. Which I think is actually a pretty good character moment. I think that is one of the better moments in that story. Don't care, just give Francesca. Alright, let's get into this. Like, I've been stalling long enough. I've been yapping. It's okay, though. I enjoy talking about this story. Because, like, I don't get to with, like, my IRL friends. Because, like I said, they just look at the top right and they go, oh, there's a skip button. Hit it. Alright, so last we left, Abigail was basically being a POS. And they offed Best Girl out of the new 3 stars. So that's where I last left off. So let's see what happens. Hey, look, it's green-haired Kairon girl. Amiki, a message arrived from Leia. Okay, I guess this is where this character came in. I didn't read it fast enough, so this is why this 3-star feels like it blindsiding. Alright, let me just see this. I looked over at chat for a second. Amiki, a message arrived. She states that she has a general understanding of the situation, but in order to enter the fortress, a barrier needs to be temporarily disabled. She requests that we alert the sentries upon her arrival. The barrier that Shadow Elf put up? Yes. Fine. And what's our status like right now? It's the same as Uriel. Morale is low, and the atmosphere is heavy. And the injured, despite ongoing emergency treatments, there haven't been much improvements. Bro, is it... Given all of the drama from the past, like, week, this statement out of context kind of hits, right? Man, my timing is impeccable. Dagger Sakar, you think is the best part of this chapter so far? Agreed. I agree. From Team Arya, Ahmed is the only bearable one. Arya is incredibly, like, racist and annoying, and somehow they took Ran, you know, the coolest character that came out of episode 4 in terms of, like, aesthetics, and, like, he was basically, like, all, like, aside from Zahak, he just bodied everyone. He was like, wow. Like, even Raz was like, he's so fast, he's so strong. In episode 5, Ran is like a bumbling idiot that can't beat anybody. It's so weird. It's so weird how dirty they have done Ran in this story. Dagger Sakar, like, they feel like they always have since episode 1. Like, their characterization is on point. Elagos is like the master tactician that he's always proven to be in episode 1 and like in Kral's stories. So yeah, I agree. I think that the Dagger Sakar characters are just on point. We've rested enough. Let's keep on moving. It won't be long before we reach the fortress entrance. I'll move ahead and report to the sentry unit. Keep a safe distance, but don't lag too far behind. Do your best to arrive promptly. Got it. Okay. The only nerfs they give characters are in the story. Then how do you explain Sylvan Sage Vivian's attire? To be fair, like, even though I think Sylvan Sage Vivian's design is pretty good, like, in the lore, she's kind of not it. She feels very damsel in distress compared to her actual, like, you know, regular, like, green, like, RGB counterpart. I really like Green Vivian in the story. She's one of my favorite characters. She seems incredibly intelligent and very capable and very powerful. Like, she's the hot waifu done correctly. Like, I would say she's probably, like, of all of, like, the super hot waifus, she's the one that they've done the most justice with this story. Everything that you dislike of this chapter comes from the elf boy, this guy here. And the thing is, you know he's going to be a character at some point. Like, when the story is about to end, like, when we get to, like, chapter 8, 9, 10, he's going to be, like, the Lua, right? That comes out for this game. Because, like, Lua was all throughout episode 4, and then finally at the end, we get her, and you're like, oh, this character is, like, OP. We're already in a precarious spot, but because of you, we're catching even more heat. You should at least set the record straight. What's the issue between you and Miki? Did you do something wrong to her? Damn, bro. I've never seen SSV's uncensored art, but she can't be as bad as Arya. Basically, what they did to Sylvan Sage Vivian is they kind of repositioned her legs so that way you can't see, like, the thigh mole that she used to have. And then they basically took her torso and her arms and reduced the size of them. That's why if you actually really closely look at Sylvan Sage Vivian's model, her, like, legs are, like, her hip placement, like, how her legs connect to her hips are really weird. And her legs are super big and her head is super big, but, like, her chest is, like, you know, it looks off, like, right? Like, if you look at, like, her whole torso, it looks way smaller than it should be. It's because, well, they reduced the size of everything. If you look at the concept art for, like, Sylvan Sage Vivian's S3, like, straight up her S3 when she, like, brings her arms up to raise the tree, like, it was straight up just a down shirt shot. Like, you could see everything. And I was like, holy hell, they actually did this. And then they obviously, it never made it to the final version. Yeah, Vivian, we need Vivian to be meta relevant. Yeah, I would say, like I said, of all of the characters, like, even though, like, Luna is one of my favorites, I think that they did more disservice to her in episode 3's narrative, right? Than, like, it's beneficial. Like, having Luna in your main scenario should be an asset to your game. And somehow it was a detriment. Because of how badly it was handled. Again, largely because they tied her to Wervalin. It's like Arya, man. I don't know what it is. They pick these girls with big personalities and they either write them out of the story or they somehow, you know, botch the bag.
This is your grand finale. Any last words?
No, honestly, I think Raz should stay the main character. I don't know why they've gone away from it. I think one of the coolest things they could have had going for them as a character in Raz is basically a deity. He doesn't know anything about humans or the human experience at all. And him becoming human in episode 2 was like a real, like, whoa, my main character who's a god can actually die but comes back as a human. And now he's more sympathetic to the human plight. And then that angle is just never explored. Like, the concept of your basically your demigod main character becoming more human as it progresses is so cool, and it's never explored. Any chance of an Espa collab rerun? I was only able to get 2 of the 4 characters. That's a Smilegate thing, but considering the Espa emotes were pulled, right now, unless they renegotiate it, it's probably not going to happen. I think what they really, really need to do is look at the concept of reskinning heroes in this game.
With skills like yours, you never stood a chance.
Roz was also complaining to DJ. That's why she gave him emotions. Is that true? Bro, I don't know, White Base, if that's true. White Base is saying ML Roz will cleanse E7. The regular Roz has Purifying Flame as his ultimate. You know, its whole purpose is to purify evil. And apparently that can't do it, so. Hey, it's Washu Girl. Yeah, so I'm even though her gameplay falls flat, I'm a huge fan of Fumir because she reminds me of Washu, who's one of my favorite anime characters from Tenchi Muyo. She's like an eccentric genius where she's like all powerful and like the smartest person ever, but she's basically so wrapped up in her own thing that she just comes off as this like straight up weirdo. It's almost like Herta in HSR, if you guys play HSR. It's a very similar character. Like, I'm a huge fan of that archetype. I really like Herta also in HSR. How hilarious. An incompetent buffoon spewing out nonsense without the necessary power, authority, or qualifications. Like, the smirk on her face when she says this. Like, this character is so cool. I'm so mad that her gameplay just doesn't... Unless you're a cleaver, it just doesn't match what I expected. Like, it's a little bit there, right? Like, I like the idea that you have to concoct a weird team to get her to work, because that's pretty on brand. But I just hate that it's not particularly useful to most players. It's possible, Ed. I don't know what kind of deal they pulled off with Espa, right? Mm-hmm. Fumir has the best special expression. I've seen it. It's like her having this weird grumpy face. It's actually kind of jarring. Anyways, where was I? So what did you say? Yeah. The moment you move, much less draw your weapons, is the moment you take your last breath. That's pretty... Nah, I don't know about that, man. You don't... Fumir, you ain't got no S1. Your S3 don't do that much damage. In fact, I'm so distraught over your shallow lack of trust, I'll have no choice but to completely demolish the barrier I created to protect the fortress. This face. This is the face of a true waifu right here. Pointing your weapons at me could only mean that you desire such an outcome. No. Whatever shall I do? If it only weren't for that barrier. If you understand the situation, even with those thick heads of yours, could you please refrain from putting my sweet little child in harm's way? By the way, this right here, this song, in case you guys are wondering, because I do use it in a lot of my videos, this is Fumir's theme that's playing. Am I going to play the FF7 demo soon? When does it come out, Zin? Because if so, I will... If it comes out, like, name the time. If you tell me it comes out at 4 a.m., it's out now? You're putting me in a pinch here. If there's a Rebirth demo... Alright, here... Okay. I already have a schedule for today. So today was the only time it was not going to happen. But... We're playing it tomorrow. It's happening. I'm playing it tomorrow. Stream cancel. You guys are killing me. Stream cancel, stream cancel, stream cancel. Straight up, man. I'll download it. We'll play it tomorrow. Because for those of you guys who are watching, I know most people, you guys do watch me for E7 and my E7 content. When FF7 Rebirth comes out, the only thing that that game is literally stream only stop for sleep and food. There are no breaks on that thing for me. I will not have that game spoiled for me. Final Fantasy VII is probably my favorite thing in the entire world. I will not have that spoiled for me. Alright, anyways, back to story. Who else would I be talking about? Didn't you say you two were acquaintances at best and barely knew each other? That's how you introduced me, Fenris? You're breaking my heart. Like, look at her facial expressions. I spent day and night nurturing and caring for my deceased friend's son. Feed him delicious meals, put him to bed at night, and shower him with love. And that's the thanks I get? How about neglecting him? Oh, dude, alright, that's a shot. Okay, this is the best thing he said. When was I ever neglectful? Have you forgotten the time I stayed up late, worried sick when you didn't come home until late at night? You were just worried I might run away. Besides, you're not even my mom. You're not my real mom. Why are you... This guy's like such a brat. Why have I come? For you, of course. I heard you caused quite a commotion down south. The eastern region was taken over and the culprits need to be sentenced, so I figured naturally everyone would be headed north to find protection within the barrier. Especially since the leader of the Shadow Elf Slayer unit, Leia, is here. I presume the western base would be next in line. This is why I told you to keep the trinket I gave you safe. Even as I was handing it over, I was skeptical. But as I suspected, you made a huge mess of things. Damn. Alright, this is actually funny. Like, the two of them are just, like, bickering. It's so funny. If you securely held onto the trinket and delivered it intact to the Slayers and assisted them with your magic, then the mana stored within would have been enough to create a strong barrier to protect the eastern fortress, just like the one in the north. Such a pity, isn't it? Damn. That's the most... Okay, ATK is saying here on the subject of Final Fantasy that Quistis is best girl. Alright. That's the best girl in Final Fantasy VIII, but she is, like, by far the most underutilized character in, like, any mainline Final Fantasy game that I've ever played. Quistis is actually my favorite character in FF8, but she amounts to nothing in that game. Family drama is peak comedy? Yes, it is. Oops, this isn't the time for that. At this rate, we're going to cross paths with Amiki. She has quite the nasty temper. Not to mention her irritating penchant for nagging. I'd rather avoid the hassle, so I'll run along first. Then let's meet again later. Take care, my little troublemakers. God, I love her. Something about the way she speaks gets on my nerves. Is it just me? No, it's definitely not just you, sister. Or your uptight personality. Thank you. So glad that even the younger sister calls out the older sister. Why are you blaming me? Let's be frank, you were the ones who trusted the people only to get robbed, not me. If you had given me the correct directions from the beginning, none of this would have happened. Like I said, Rand is like just painted as like bumbling buffoon that's always just arguing with people. You've always liked Final Fantasy X, but that's because it's turn-based. True. Full tech is that final? We're talking about Final Fantasy IX, right? Let me see. Do I have it right? All right. We made it through one level. It took. Checks how long we've been live. 47 minutes. We made it through one level, chat. My problem with Final Fantasy VIII as a game is that it's probably the most unbalanced game in the franchise. Like, you can beat it at level 1, and the character they give you in the tutorial can solo the whole game without effort. What am I doing here? We're meant to go next, not auto battle. That's terrible. Go next. Fumir! Bro is on autopilot. True. I am absolutely on autopilot. It seems most of you returned safely. That's quite early. I actually like this character's design. I think it's a pretty well put together, and I like the scars. I've already been briefed on the overall situation. The Shadow Elf army launched a surprise attack. Is that correct? And then Green Kairon here says, yes, that's right. It's all because of those punks over there. Technically, she's blue, right? Are you suggesting that those Shadow Elves over there allowed the army into the fortress? How else could they have so easily infiltrated the fortress? Especially when it was so perfectly timed with the internal discord on it. As we just established, that, like, they got the barrier, right? It's because of incompetence, right? Those bastards must have tipped off the shells lurking around the area beforehand. Are you certain? Do you have any evidence that they were engaged in spying for the Shadow Elves? Evidence? Their mere existence is all the proof you need. They're Shadow Elves. That's racist, sir. You can't say that. Bro, why is every Epic 7 plot come back to racism? Gets me concerned. Hey! Is it Heisei? Thank you so much for the dono. I appreciate it. Small thanks for what you do for the E7 community and being receptive of different takes and being awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't get too many supers, but I do appreciate that, homie. Do I get it? There's the heart. Appreciate that. I don't, like I said, I don't get too many supers on YouTube. That's my dream. One day I'll get the Aka Supa. Oh wow! Thank you ATK for the 5 gifted. Thank you. Who ended up getting it? Let's see. Who does guy? Rin Portion, White Base, Valky, and Xeno. Also, thank you. Valky's gonna be like, well, why I got subs? Back to reading this. Once I heard that Fenris was nearby, I rushed out to chase after Ahmed, but by then, some time had already passed. It's obvious the two of them left first in order to tip off the Shadow Elf army to the timing of the attack. That's not true. I only went out to look for Fenris. Straight up, like, everyone is just, I feel like everyone's bickering. Like, episode 5 could just be called, No, It's Your Fault, at this point. That's absurd. Don't make up ridiculous things. What if I tell you Fenris already has a history of wiping out a village, mine to be exact, employing the same methods? Is it still absurd and ridiculous? I mean, when you have that look on your face, you clearly have an agenda, lady. That's... So what I've gathered is that there's no evidence but only speculation. Is that right? It's all hearsay, yeah. Okay. So we like her because she's actually level-headed. Even though her design is cool, she's not level-headed at all. I still understand why you're so insistent on executing them, especially so, considering where you're coming from, Amiki. But I heard they claim to be from somewhere else, not Skuggeheim. Is that how you pronounce it? Skuggeheim? It's a weird name. Not to mention Fenris, who's from there, was abandoned by his own kind. I was curious to see if these claims held true, so I sent patrol bots near... We're just going to call it Skug, to lurk around undercover and find out. Skuggeheim. That's you want to call it Skuggeheim? It appears he was labeled a traitor and is currently a wanted fugitive. Right, I'm being chased for assisting in their escape. Then, by what logic would he be supporting Skuggy? The way I see it, the place is more like his enemy's den than his hometown. But they're shadow elves, all cut from the same cloth. Damn, everyone out here is racist. Alright, so... Amiki, we've crossed you off the waifu list. You're perpetually, you get to stay in F tier, bro. We don't put up with racism here. Oh, thank you for the 5. Don't know. I appreciate it. Can't wait for the history of Epic 7. Yes, sir. I'll do more of them. We have been waiting a little bit closer to Tamarin's release to talk about her release window, because if you didn't play during that time, it's kind of weird also. I kind of wanted to give that its own video, because like the Tamarin you know now is not the Tamarin that we had at release. I don't think that's how it's pronounced, but that's how I pronounce it. That's how I think so too. Anyway, so this time too, he must have infiltrated our ranks by feigning innocence in order to make amends for aiding their exile. That bastard has used similar tactics before. He approached our village only to create an opportunity for the Shadow Elves to ambush us. And did you have solid evidence for it back then? See, this is what I'm talking about. I like this Leia girl. This is like what Vivian does. Vivian shuts shit down. She's like, no. Vivian, like, thinks about everything, like, logically. Zeno says Leia reminds me of Android 18. Yeah, actually true. Looks exactly like 18. No, that's a claim. Miki, what have I always said? The ones we are in conflict with are the Shadow Elves from Skuggy. Not all Shadow Elves, in general. We fight against the discrimination and oppression of the Shadow Elves and vampires, who persecute humans for being the weakest race on the continent. How are you behaving any differently from them? Damn. Shut it down. Preach, girl. I understand it's difficult to separate Shadow Elves from Skuggy, especially when you've been at war for so long. But the purpose and goal of this war are not to indiscriminately fan the flames of hatred. I refuse to turn a blind eye to the truth in the heat of the moment. Don't let revenge cloud your judgment. Damn. Yeah, she just blew you up. Like, just, damn. It's a blowout, lady. What you have there? I told you this before, but I loathe your attitude. That's your big comeback? Yo, she sucks. If that's your waifu, 0 out of 10. Trash character. Actual trash can waifu. Ed says, I can't get around the Shadow Elves from Skuggy have magic birthmarks so they know who to be racist to. Convenience. I don't know how they make vampires sound like a force on the island. Aren't there only about a half dozen of them on the entire continent? Yeah, basically there's like 4, right? I'll go and bring her back. No, let her walk. No, she's trash. Yeah, cool. Leave her be. I'll follow after her in a moment. Shall we finish what we were discussing? If you feel at all unfairly represented, this is your chance to explain yourselves. You already seem to have a rough idea of what happened. We were branded traitors to Scuggy and had to flee. Then we ran into Fumir, who recommended reaching out to you Slayers. But Fenris went missing in the middle of our journey. No doubt he ran away because he was afraid of encountering a Miki upon reaching the fortress. But since we needed a guide to help us navigate our way in this unfamiliar terrain, we left the fortress to look for him. Well, actually, it's because Ahmed was worried about Fenris. Cool. Why were you branded traitors? You're not even from there. Well, our family decided to move from Eurasia to Nadalon when we were too young to remember anything. But it seems like our father had a significant amount of friction with his kins in Scuggy regarding his decision to move. They do tend to reject those who think differently from them. Perhaps they felt a sense of betrayal that we were moving away from Noya's protection to find refuge in the domain of another spirit lord, Sylvana. That's right, that's the forest, right? We returned to Eurasia to seek the Council of the Tree of Genesis, hoping to prevent Nadalon from facing an approaching danger. All this time we had no idea our father was seen as a traitor. We have to seek the Council of the Tree of Genesis for Malagoras, lady. That's what it's there for. Fumir, is all of this true? You're actually asking for Fumir's opinion? No offense, but like, I love the girl, but she's crazy. Yeah, I haven't done all the Tree of Genesis stuff as well. One of the early concept characters was a punk-looking vampire with a mad-looking chainsaw. Yeah, we never saw that. There's definitely a lot of concept art that has not been used. I've shown some of it to some other members, but if you don't have the art book, there's a bunch of concept art in it that's unused. I'll probably do it as a video at some point, so that way you guys can see it. Maybe I'll do it for like Friday. Because I got to go out of town on Friday, so it'd be a nice, like, relaxing, chill thing unless we get some kind of announcement. Anyways, going back to what Fumir was saying. Sounds about right to me. It all happened long ago, back when humans were on such good terms with Shadow Elves that they were coexisting on the same land. A well-known high priest by the name of Ladan abruptly left with his family and followers, claiming he needed to save the humans on a different continent. Since then, Ladan was formally banished from Scuggy and forbidden from returning. As a prominent figure, there was quite a lot of gossip about his actions. Things such as, one who breaks regulations to act on an unnecessary sense of righteousness deserves to be abandoned by their kin. To name a few. Damn, Arya's like, yo, my dad pissed people off. Yes, they did, ATK. They sent me a brand new one. I am very appreciative of them. Not only did they replace my damaged art book, they gave me a collector's one, which means that I have no need for certain things like the belly and acrylic that comes with it. So what I'm saying is I'm probably at some point going to pass the savings on to all of you. As proof, those kids don't have the mark of Noya's protection on their bodies. I see, the mark does serve as definitive proof of those affiliated with Scuggy. It's so weird to call it even Scuggy. Conversely, those without the mark are either unaffiliated with Scuggy or they abandoned by Noyas from the start. This still leaves us with the task of explaining the ambush by the Shadow Elf army. We don't have any concrete evidence, nor do we have the cause behind it. I suppose there's a possibility that they got really lucky while tracking you guys. It could be. Alright, Upset Slayer, you also get to stay in F tier. But they aren't deliberate offenders. You're not planning to punish those poor kids, are you? Who knows? It's not like I could just let this slide. How old do we think Fumir is? Is Fumir like a Freerin? Because she knew about Arya's dad, so like, how old is Fumir? 400? 500 years old? What do we think, chat? How old do we actually think Fumir is? 637 years old. Do you know that for sure, or are you just making stuff up? It's an oddly specific number. What a shame, but I don't have any intentions of continuing to help someone who falsely accuses and torments my little child. How cheeky. You're threatening me? I wonder. What do you guys think? Are there any merits to their claims? Well, doesn't it seem completely unreasonable? There's no way to know for sure. I mean, Fumir does not help things. Like, I would not want Fumir to be my negotiator. No offense, Arya. Like, you're kind of... She's leaving you high and dry here. Tell me, How would putting our trust in you benefit us? Whatever the cause. Like, she was on board with us, and now, like, after talking to Famir, she's like, I don't know. True. Anua says 542. Whatever the cause or reason, we've suffered significant casualties as a result of meeting you. We've lost territory in the east, and the loss of morale has led to internal strife. Don't worry, Arya, it wasn't your fault. It was Conqueror Halilius. Unfortunately, we're not in a position to promise reclaiming the land you lost. However, we can support the Slayers to prevent any further losses. Oh, that's a tempting proposition. Bolstering our forces when we're at a disadvantage isn't a bad offer at all. Shall we go and see just how helpful you lot can be? Damn, they're just gonna be like trial by combat.
You didn't see this
A smart Slayer is an untrusting Slayer? I don't know about that. We like Lena Inverse around these parts.
Bye-bye.
Yes, that is a retro anime reference. Every time I see that they're called the Slayers in this, I'm just like, where's Lena? Where's Zelgadis? Where's Gowry? Honestly, that would be a good collab, but like, it wouldn't make a lot of money, so I don't think they would get it. But I know like, Langrisser had Slayers as a collab, and I was like, wow, that's really hype. But I don't think it actually made a ton of money. Yo, what's going on, Thomas?
Here I go.
Why the Bible thump? I'm scared now.
This is your grand finale. Any last words? Requesting approval. And granted.
They ain't like those Slayers. People dying every set of one of the most compelling points of the story, IMF.
Okay.
And Naga. Unfortunately, Naga, maybe Naga would make it. Naga is usually an OVA only character. She's not like part of the main story. Like, if they were gonna have it, yeah, they probably would do Naga because she's a super fan servicey character, and everyone would just be like, they're like, I don't know what this Slayers is, but this girl's hot. I'm rolling. Carr would wail like crazy. Like he's never seen Naga. I promise you, the second he sees Naga, he'll be like, Lethe, who?
I don't really enjoy this.
Okay, hear me out, Bikini Warriors collab. Get Carr to wail on that. Yeah. I mean, Naga, despite the fact that she's only in OVAs from a series that, like, most people nowadays don't know what it's from, like, that character's still pretty iconic. Like, she's the reason we have that Ojo-sama laugh that, like, all the snobby rich anime girls have. Like, that's where it came from. Like, that's, like, maybe not the original one, but it's definitely the one that popularized, like, the laugh behind your hand thing. What exactly is that supposed to be? Just paying you a compliment. But weren't you all supposed to be busy looking for the Tree of Genesis? Are you sure you have the time to waste helping around here? What's the point in asking something you already know the answer to? Besides, the most knowledgeable person on the Tree of Genesis is right next to me. Oh-ho. Looks like I have my work cut out for me. Still, that doesn't sound too bad. So what do you need our help with that you've come all the way out here? I mentioned it on the way over, right? The northern fortress is protected by a strong barrier from the outside forces. To be exact, it's not like the eastern fortress lacked a barrier. It was just significantly weaker, and for some reason it had already been shattered. So, we're going to reinforce the barrier here from the surrounding village to all around the fortress. Is this something only Shadow Elves are capable of pulling off? Not necessarily, as long as you could control magic and know the required spells, anyone can do it. Of course, the process is considerably easier for Shadow Elves, who are inherently gifted at magic and relatively more experienced in complex spellcasting. Is this like a challenge for Arya, like we have to benchmark it? Lionheart should be in my team for the Slayers portion. I could do that. We could make that happen. Yo, what's up, Belle? Deedlit, the original anime elf? True. Have you ever played Wonder Labyrinth? Half correct. As you're well aware, humans are significantly weaker than Shadow Elves or vampires in constitution, strength, and abilities. Hey, they make up for it in charisma, though. As a result, acquiring weapons and the means to fend them off is fairly valuable and precious. It's all thanks to this barrier that we managed to remain relatively safe from invasions despite being so close to the center of Skuggy. I'm sure you would never offer your services without receiving something in return. What strings are attached? Oh my. You read through me like a book. Have I been talking about myself too much? I told you I'm just an honest and transparent person. That's sus. Lady, that's sus. Okay, they actually did fix the stove post. Okay. I remember Tristan mentioning about that. Anyways, the conditions were twofold. First, divulging any information discovered about the Tree of Genesis, and second, not interfering with my magical research. In Skuggy, I was constantly bogged down by other Shadow Elves, so I could never focus properly on my work. Because you're a traitor? Damn. Yeah, speaking of which, what made you become a traitor? Fenris mentioned that that he doesn't know much beyond the fact that you got caught doing something stupid in the Garden of Noyas. Oh, that? It was nothing much. I just tried to steal the Tree of Genesis magic. Oh yeah, no big deal. No, Ran, you're wrong, bro. That's no big deal. What is this that Bell posted? The Mystic Summon that will take place on February 29th will allow you to summon your desired heroes from among all 4- and 5-star Moonlight heroes, excluding the ones released within the past 6 months based on the Mystic Summon end date, 3/21. Does that mean Navy Captain Landy is live? So someone let me know. If Captain Landy is live, I'll just tell you right now. The tier list, that's the top character. Yeah, Fumir is one of the best. As far as I understand it, we can't approach the Tree of Genesis directly. We have to receive permission from its caretaker and guardian, Spirit Lord Noyas. That's right. In return for bestowing us with its magic, Shadow Elves are required to honor and serve the Tree of Genesis. I, who not only disrespected such a sacred and venerable entity by approaching it, but also coveted its power, committed an unforgivable sin. It's almost like they should make an anime out of you, lady. You can call it Full Metal Fumir. If that's the case, you must have actually seen the tree. Is that right, dude? Yeah, she's seen the door. Fumir's seen the door. That's why she goes, and she gets to use alchemy. At least among Shadow Elves, I was probably the closest to it? Question mark. Back then, I was just so filled with curiosity about what it looked like and discovering how it granted us its powers. Ah, the days of boundless curiosity and unwavering determination. But sometimes grandiose ambitions invite even greater maledictions, and now I'm but a shell of my former self, with nothing to show of it. Show for it, I should say. I'm too scared to be as reckless as I was in the past. If Noyas were to catch me again, I feel like my life might just vanish altogether. So for now, I'm just collecting information on the tree and studying our magic. Nothing beyond that. Nah, hear me out, chat. Fumir, that white-haired girl we see at the beginning, that's probably ML Fumir. When she finally steals the knowledge. Are we on the Dark Boss? I don't know. We're moving at a snail's pace. Yep. It's good to be satisfied with that much. Everyone has ambitions, but it's important to know your limits. Plus, you can rely on others for help as well. Just like me and the Slayers, and you and your friends. It's when greed grows into excessive desire, then everything becomes God damn it, dude. Is this game, like, I don't know. No comment. So consider that my warning, and be careful before you cause any big troubles. Fumir is too based with these statements. Alright, let's move along. Let's see what we're at. Take Fumir. Alright, let's organize by friendship. Boop. Hide level 10. Okay, so... Okay, we'll unhide 10. Because somebody asked for it. Here's Lionheart. Okay, so who can I level? Ken? Abyssal? Screw it, the Great One? Yeah, I guess we go the Great One. Seems legit. Fumir saw the other side of the door and stole a primo gem from Genshin. True. Amiki, I need to speak with you. I have nothing to say to you. That's not true. You're discontent with what I said earlier. Would saying it change anything? No matter what I say, you're still going to take the side of those Shadow Elves. Is that what you think? That I'm the type of person to unconditionally take the side of strangers who rolled in from who knows where? I'm always going to be on the side of the Slayers, on the side of humanity. And you. Alright, Leia, you just got bumped down a tier. Then what's your reason for being so lenient with them? It's the same with Femir. She always roams around as she pleases, suddenly appearing on a whim. Why do you allow her to behave like that? Like, can you honestly say, like Femir just doesn't do whatever she wants? Let's be real here. I didn't take a second for you to accept her trinket as proof, but then you badgered me for more evidence? You trust one outsider from enemy lands more than you trust your subordinates, comrades, and allies. No, you got it all wrong. I don't trust a single one of them. Then why? It's called professionalism, lady. Don't forget, we are at a much greater disadvantage in this war compared to Shadow Elves or vampires. In ability, power, or even longevity, there's not a single aspect where we have the advantage. Moreover, even the Eastern Fortress has been taken from us. In a situation like this, I found it prudent, vital even, to make friends of those who approached us with goodwill than to turn them against us. We can't back ourselves into a corner by staying closed-minded. She's, like, really smart, but also, like, I don't know. Like, just don't like a Miki, right? I understand where you're coming from. You know I'm the same. Another victim fleeing the persecution of vampires, unable to fight back against them. And you think I would haphazardly grab onto anyone's hand without a second thought? As much as we give, we should make sure to take just as much. So what's the plan? We watch over them as rationally, objectively as possible in order to make an accurate judgment. Are they really helpless foreigners lending us a hand, or are they spies sent to deceive us and stir up trouble? If they truly do intend to help us, how can we take advantage of them to catch the enemy off guard? Hey, look. It's Ezra. Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought he died. Spill as much blood as I haven't got the gall to say that again. Sure, now hush, I can't focus. Dude, these like faceless NPCs, they're dicks. Who wrote these characters? We haven't been able to get to everyone yet. We're going around treating them one by one. Alright. Okay. Detained a bunch of wanderers and another suspicious person. There hasn't been any news since then, so I'm not sure what happened either. Plus, with the number of injured around, the defector's treatment was likely delayed. Who you calling defector? At the time, he didn't look too well. It's not just that, he seemed completely off, like his mind drifted away, if that makes sense. But then, his behavior was extremely aggressive, like he had lost his sanity. The other individuals that were restrained didn't seem to be in their right minds either, although it wasn't nearly as bad as him. It's a weird spot to stop that conversation. Hurry up! Why are you kids so slow? Lady, aren't you like 104 base speed? She's the fastest Soul Weaver in the game. The redo of a healer pro tag can never die. Ain't no way. We just used up a large amount of mana at once. It would be weirder if we weren't tired. I feel fine. Damn, how much mana you got, lady? Maybe she really is Freerin. Look at Rand. He looks perfectly okay. Hey, take your girlfriend out for a run or something. Even magic requires a bit of physical stamina. Rand, not even missing a beat, bro. Should we? If you're interested, we can start tomorrow. Right away. Let's see. We can start with the morning run. This is what I'm talking about. They took the coolest character and they just made him an idiot. Like, bro, she's gonna chew you out. I'm gonna click this left mouse button. And she's gonna chew you out. Ready? I don't wanna. Okay. Come on, you gotta be a little bit more forceful than that, Ahmed. While you're at it, take Fenris along with you. Don't feel like it. Okay, that's a pretty... The feeling's mutual. Stop complaining and come quickly. Ahmed, we're halfway there. Even you, sister? How could you?
What are you doing?
Medic, raise your sword for me. I will show you grace by granting you death.
Yeah. My immersion is broken, by the way. Like, Ahmed's the one that's having trouble, like difficulty running. Arya's the one that's like, it's fine. Keep up.
See how much better I am? Ultimate!
I agree, Grader, that the writing for Ahmed, to be fair, Ahmed's writing was never particularly strong. But like Rand's is like, in the gutter, and it really hurts because, like, Billy Kometz did such a good job with his character, and he's no longer with us. And to see him kind of be reduced to this is like, oof.
I don't really enjoy this. I hate the darkness. Because it hides your suffering.
Let me fix something for you. I think the writing since episode 4 has been like at a second grade. Damn. The way you guys manipulate mana is a bit different, isn't it? Is this like the part where she goes like all guru and is just like, here's your awakened potential? I noticed it too. Is the way you utilize mana unique to Scuggy? Not quite. I prefer to tinker with things in a way that's suitable and comfortable for me. Interesting. We're similar in that aspect. While we stayed in Nadalon, we learned a bit from the Sween and humans living there. Back when our father was around, he put a lot of effort into fostering cultural exchange in order to create a more harmonious community. It's the same with magical prowess. Even if the roots are the same, depending on how it's utilized, it can branch out in all sorts of directions. The same roots can branch out? Thank you. I think I've just figured something out. Oh, that wasn't my intention, but if you say so, it seems like your mind is hard at work. Is it, though? The sudden aggressiveness in the beast and the unusual behavior of the Slayers. I could see it in their eyes. They both looked like they had lost all sanity, and I could faintly sense a strange, magical aura around them. And the aura felt similar to yours or mine, yet different, just like our magic spells. Could it come from the same origins as our magic? So you're saying it's another shadow elf, I guess, huh? Was Greater saying, I want to say the writing only feels bad when he's in scenes with Ahmed. I feel like he's better in scenarios where other people like Raz or Ahmed. Or Aden or Ahmed. Well, the thing is, that's what I was saying. Like, the character has only been in spots with Ahmed post episode 4. And he was pretty good in episode 4. He's one of the better written characters. Like, honestly, Ahmed should... not Ahmed. Aden should not have been in episode 4. Like, Aden being a character is like them trying to shoehorn a character into the game that they wanted. They had a cool concept, like what if our MC could change colors? They shoehorned that concept, I feel like, into the story, and it sucked. Rand should have been the protagonist of episode 4. He had all the setup. He was the one that Zahak was most strongly tied to, and Zahak was the one that set the plan in motion. He's also the one that was tied to the swords. You know, he's the one that knew about the swords. He had the strongest connection to the swords. The whole plot was making sure the swords don't fall into the wrong hands. There's like, you can't convince me Rand was not supposed to be the main character of episode 4. And if he wasn't from the start, then like, what are your writers doing? Because everything suggests he should have been. Yeah, if Rand was the main character for episode 4, it would have been epic. Well, that is a possibility. There are precedents within the vampires, after all. Have you discovered anything else besides it feeling similar? Unfortunately, no. I'll have to meet them in person if I want to figure anything else out. They say they're not in their right minds, though. Are you sure you'll be okay? It's fine. I just need to confirm whether it's the same aura I felt back then. I see. And I need to meet with the person who caused a ruckus back in the Eastern Fortress. This stunned look on her face. They keep using it. I need to verify something. And you, talk to Ezra and see if he could explain what that person was originally like. Seems like you've caught on to something. Alright. What you need to verify, is it related to the Tree of Genesis? Yeah, why do you ask? Alright, what do you know? This guy knows. He knows things. Hello, lady. How are you? Could you be a dear and take my darling child with you instead of leaving him alone? I'm worried sick he might wander off somewhere on his own. Fine. Hey, you. Follow me. Damn. These two do not get along, man. There isn't much work left to do, so I'll finish up with the barrier. You guys go on ahead. There's something I want to research immediately after, so I want to wrap this up quick. It's suffocating having to take care of you weaklings, so hurry on along. They made this character seem all-powerful, and then her gameplay just doesn't reflect that, and I kind of hate that. I really hate that.
I was born.
More flashbacks? Yeah.
By
Yeah.
my destiny, I will cut you down.
Speaking of Mort,
Not bad for such a wretched being.
accept what you deserve.
Nah, see, Ilanav, like, the game makes you think Ilanav is powerful, but she got bodied by Cecilia for free.
Guiding light, illuminate the unknown. See?
Like, Ilanav hasn't proven that she's actually strong. She beat Cecilia when Cecilia wasn't trying.
Let us begin.
When Cecilia actually tried, it was not even a close fight.
Relax. No matter how small its prey.
Ezra's resting inside. The treatment is all finished, and he's been up for a while, so it should be okay to visit him. Sure. Thanks for guiding us. You just go to head inside without notifying him first? What's the issue? He probably won't be very welcoming. Obviously. Why? Are you afraid we'll get cursed at and kicked out? That face. I'm more concerned about whether he'll be receptive to speaking to us. We won't know that until we go inside and try to persuade him, will we? Huh. What brings you two here? Ah, if it isn't the commander of the Slayers. Not quite. More like a commanding officer. The one leading the Slayers would be the Marshal. Titles are irrelevant anyway, so just call me Leia. Were you guys about to head inside? Yeah, we have a few questions we need to ask Ezra. Perfect. I'm here to visit him too. Let's go in together. Cool, cool. This is true. Right, lady? Yeah, lady's complaining about how Mort is in the story so strong he needed to be sealed, but in gameplay he's super weak. Yeah, that's the other thing. Luna fought Straze to a draw. Like, you know, Straze, the person that threatened to destroy the world that required an entire continent's army. But Luna is just like very whatever gameplay wise. She's solid. Yeah, that's what I said about Cecilia. Yeah, it's just that her heart wasn't in it. After that thing that Ilanav did to her, her heart wasn't in it. She wasn't trying anymore. Had she tried from the start, it was just, like I said, it was just a straight beatdown. Right? Alright, I'm going to go real quick. I'm going to just put myself into an expedition because I got to go use the restroom. So just give me 1 second. That way you guys can watch something fun. You know what? Here's a fun thing. Let's do this. Let's pick a random abyss floor. Kawazi, right? Alright, chat. We're gonna see while I go use the restroom real fast. How far do I make it in this abyss? You guys can tell me how long I survive when I get back. Let's see how long I survive on auto. I'll be right
Give
back.
all
Use the
that you
restroom.
have for the glory of Perlin. I won't fall.
Taking foot. Back. Bon voyage.
This is it.
Over. Full frontal assault. That's in order.
Focus.
Covering fire. Requesting approval. And granted. Removing restrictions. Charge! Deal with it. Bon voyage.
I'll make you kneel before me.
Just as I planned. Victory is ours!
Scar those in our way with destruction and fear. The time has passed.
Rookie.
Can you even reach me?
alive? I'm somehow still alive. Alright, see ya. So hopefully I caught you before you left.
Deal with it.
It's been 1 minute 58 seconds. Okay.
Don't let them escape. Bon voyage.
2 minutes 58 seconds. Okay. I just want to see how far it goes.
Deal with it.
Yo, what if it's solos? Chat, what if it's solos?
Too bad. Bet. Deal with it. It's time.
Bro, if she actually solos, I'll lose my mind. This stage, yeah. If it's solos, you need to make it a guide. This stage owes Landy money.
Bon voyage.
That's honestly, that is actually accurate. E7 in 2024 is literally Landy just saying deal with it. And too bad. Sue, what do I feed my Landy? Unity set. Valky said the same thing. He fought my Landy in Guild Wars on stream yesterday. And apparently, from what everyone was saying, like, my Landy was just going off on him. Like, he still won, right? Like, I expect him to win because it's Guild Wars, right? But he was just like, what the hell, bro? What is this Landy?
Welcome to Mildrick.
Okay. Okay, we're dead. Check your team's synergy. Healing is super important in team battles. Thanks, Epic 7. All right, that was good for entertainment, right? All right, so we got the blue cup is for water. Thank you for the hydrate. Okay. Back to Fumir, my darling. Do you want to investigate, ATK? We can do investigative journalism real fast. Well, there's your answer. You ate shrimp tacos? I think shrimp tacos are good. Have I got my first AI piece yet? No, I haven't. Hold on. And that's not because, like, we haven't tried. I just don't think I actually bothered to pick it up. Yeah, I could get it right now if I wanted to. Hold on, let me check something. Is this up yet? Has anyone actually hit this thing yet? Alright. I can't actually fight this and no one has actually attacked it, right? No? People have attacked it. Wait, hold on. Oh, it's at 50%. So no one has actually attacked him yet since he switched. Alright. Considering Tristan is probably not doing this, like you can see there's nobody actually on the thing. And I'll be on it tomorrow. Yeah, I'm going to smack the snake to my left because if I smack this, I'll get enough. You can see 121. I'll get enough to get the piece so we can just roll it on stream. Fun time, right? Honestly, I'm not going to... It doesn't matter what I bring. It really doesn't matter what I bring. Because just straight up, like, we're going to be... I have 5 provisions. Like, I'm just going to refill tomorrow anyway. Like, it's going to reset at server reset. I'm just going to get everybody back. It doesn't matter if I bring everybody.
We still have
Damn.
hope. Take note for future.
You're heading home to play FIFA.
This is what a perfect cut looks like. Is this really necessary? By the majesty
Be of nature. Be humbled.
I know I'm beautiful. Face me. I'll show you how a hero does things.
Yay, attack up for your non-attacking characters. Seems legit.
We'll take you down one by one. You've got a long way to go,
I'm
kid.
on my way.
I'm clearly going
I'll
to
do
win this.
what must be done. As long as I have something to protect,
Dej.
I never lose.
Dead.
I'll cut your throat.
Whoa. I never noticed she had that voice line.
Think rationally.
I know, I've heard the think or stay calm and think rationally line. I've heard that line. I have never heard the I'll cut your throat line. That's new.
With the power of all. Yeah!
It's time to test
My
the
magic
limits of
will
my
blow
magic.
you away. Get swept away.
Look at my sword, not my face. Be grateful that you get to fight me.
I'll cut your throat.
Yeah, I've never heard that line before. Where am I at in P3? I have not changed. I've only played it on stream. I'm gonna play the whole game on stream. Honestly, I should start saving my VODs in case people, I don't know, you guys have to let me know if you want me to put,
I'm here.
if you guys actually want me to actually relist my VODs so you guys can go back and watch them. And if so, do you want them on my main channel or my like dump channel where I put like card game and other related stuff? Okay. We have enough to actually get the thing now. Who knows if that's what they say. All right. We're gonna get the broken piece out of the way. All right, so this is the piece where I want it to roll really well, and I know damn well it ain't gonna roll well because it's me and I don't have good luck. So we're just gonna do one of these. One of these. All right. You know what time it is. You already know what time it is. It's prediction time. One minute. Over or under 100 equipment score. If it is over, if it is 100, it counts as over. Just so we're clear in the case of a tiebreaker. So 100 or higher is over, 99 or less is under. Get your points in now. Yo, so many of you guys are trusting. I appreciate the trust. It's gonna be 99, I can feel it. Oh, we got like maybe 10, 15 more seconds. 10. 5. Okay, we're done here. 98, damn it. Yo, wait, that's 19 speed on a speed set. I'll take that, though. I'll take that, though, okay? I'll take that. I'm not even upset about that. Like, look, you guys need to understand this. Here, watch. Like, I really am that slow. Let me pay out the people first, but... Alright, so like just to show you like how slow I am. Watch, speed set, sort by speed. If you want to know how slow I am, I'm that slow. When people ask, are you really that slow? The answer is yes, I'm that slow. So this is actually my fastest speed piece body in the game. Like, you guys think I'm kidding. Like, Valky, like, makes fun of me. He's like, oh, like, Sue, what would it take to get for you to be a cleaver? And I was like, oh, you know, just roll 22 plus speed pieces on my account. I'll be a cleaver tomorrow, I promise you. Look at my box sorted by speed. I have no shame. Like, some people hide their fastest character. Look at how fast I am. Bro, you take Elf Mage's box, you sort by speed. You see how we have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 characters here displayed? Elf Mage doesn't even go under 295 in his first 6 characters. Yeah, people always say this, like, oh, you're that, like, oh, he's... the thing is, I make Emperor every season being this slow. I mean, do I make up for it in other areas? Yeah, I do, because, like, I have really, like, crazy high health on certain characters, right? Like, I have, like, crazy bulk stats. That's where I make it up from, right? Like, I don't know. I think my maybe not this one, but, like, I think my Crimson Armin is pretty solid. Right? I think my ROL is pretty good. Yeah, I have 30k LRK. That's what I'm saying. Like look at how tanky my Bellion is. My philosophy on Bellion, for those of you who've been watching for a while, you probably know this. I want my Bellion to be as thick as she appears. Based artificial intelligence. Efficient combat form is high heals and showing a whole lot of skin. Still the funniest thing ever to me. Flan, here's my fully clothed appearance in this really sturdy, you know, chair that I'm in. I need to get into my more efficient combat form by switching out my regular shoes for high heels and exposing a bunch of skin so that way, you know... Like, how is that armor? Lady, how is that armor? It still gets me. Where's my cleave team? Here we go. Let me show you my Ran. You want to see my Ran? Here you go. Look at this Ran. Isn't this Ran amazing? Have I ever been kicked by stilettos? No. But I have had somebody step on me with high heels before. Like, my feet. Like, their feet stepping on my feet. Like, get your head out of the gutter. And, yeah, it hurts. It actually breaks skin. But yeah, people are like, oh, yeah. No, this is, yeah. With my fastest gear, Ran gets to 309, but he has no crit chance or crit damage. He has no effectiveness and no damage. Alright. Riveting dialogue. Bro, if they had just keep going around in a circle with just 3 dots, and that's the whole cutscene, I would have been like, bravo. Lady, chill. Wait a second. What's the deal? Did you just visit to play the silent game? Yup. You seem so confident about persuading them earlier. I'm just waiting for the right time to speak since that guy over there is so unresponsive. Ezra, how are you feeling? Oh, I'm fine. They said the wound wasn't too deep, so that's a relief. Thank goodness. Everyone was worried about you. Even these friends came all the way here because they wanted to see how you were doing. Dude, she just gave you the in. Make moves. Thanks? Well, it's nothing. Well, I was a bit worried too. You know, that you'd be captured and executed. You were worried? That's a little unexpected. I realized I was in the wrong for immediately suspecting Arya back then. After all, she was telling the truth about the strange power influencing the victims. That's true. Thoughts on Giselle and Gala combo for Ancient Inheritance. My thought will always be, as you can expect regarding Giselle, the whole, you're tripping, if you think that character is actually good. Sorry. I'll never get behind that character. I thought that character was not good when she was shown. I stand by it. I think Gala's nuts, though. When I know too well, the enemies don't always come from outside. In a war, there's nothing more critical than being able to distinguish between your allies and enemies, but that's also when defections tend to happen more frequently. I overlooked that. But that poor guy probably didn't mean to cause you trouble. You guys know too that his condition was strange. Actually, that's what we came here to ask about. What kind of person was the Slayer member who attacked you? Did he have any peculiar and noticeable behaviors? Or was there anything that stood out or concerned you in particular? You couldn't have just, like, no offense, writer, whoever the author is of this piece, you couldn't have just given the person, like, a name? Right? Speaking of, remember how people thought Karina was terrible when she showed? Not me! If you go back and watch my impressions of Karina, I said she was nuts. Okay, maybe not nuts, but I definitely said she was very good. That's one of those characters where I was like, yeah, I think Karina... I thought Winter and Karina were the two best ones in the Espa collab, and they're the only two that see play now. He's opportunistic and doesn't like incurring losses, so he's the type of guy to avoid going outside where his safety isn't guaranteed. I see. So he's a coward. But you don't know what he was doing outside? No, I have no idea. I considered following around secretly, but I never expected something like this to... Was it because of the strange mana? We were also suspicious, but talking to someone not in their right mind seemed pointless. There's another person who used to hang out with him. Whenever something happened, they seemed to accompany each other. What is this, Ran? It is goated. I was like, this isn't that impressive. Then I saw Revenge Set. Get out of here, ATK. I've learned to believe I've learned not to believe in reviews or Reddit. That's a fair statement. I agree. That's kind of a fair statement, right? Like, one of the things that like I really dislike is the whole groupthink aspect. I really think that it's one of the reasons why when I would do content for card games, when I would do deck profiles, one of the reasons why I explain everything in so much detail and teach you everything is because I don't want you to just take my word for it at face value. I don't want that. I want you to have all the information so that way you can make an informed decision and not just like assume because your favorite content creator told you something that it's the truth. Not that I'm like, you know, not being honest with you guys. Like, it's just people latch on, like they see something online, they see, oh, it's doom and gloom, and then they latch onto it, or oh, this is the way it should be done, and then they latch onto it and they don't think about any other possibility, right? Think about how many times in Epic 7's history a character has come out, somebody has said X is the way to play it, everyone mimics it, and then like 2 weeks or 3 weeks later, either the character is considered not good because the way people were playing it weren't good with the build, right? Not saying that again the players are bad, but you know the build wasn't good, or the character wasn't good, right? I can remember when Senya came out, everyone was so confident that it was speed set. So many people were on speed set. I saw speed and counter, speed and counter, speed and counter all the time. And then people were like, well, Senya might not be that good. And then people realized how to play the character. Right? Right, ATK? People were ATK saying, remember when when Big Smo showed off Senya on Lifesteal ER, and people said that's weird. That's the standard way people play Senya now. I'm getting off topic with the story, but yeah, that's like a little bit rambly. My word choice not the best there because I'm a dum-dum, but hopefully you guys get my point. It's important. It's important to consider all angles and make informed decisions because, well, as I've talked about in like the Musashi video and other things, like how you get good at games is to be the person that learns the game, looks at the information, and makes an informed decision that works either for you or that other people are not expecting. And that, like, that's how I've always found success. Is to just use what I think works best. Wow, I'm impressed, Ezra. It's unusual for you to be so thoughtful and forthcoming. It seems like it was worth all the effort taking care of you. What's with the random sound effect? How's it going, Sue? How are you enjoying Chapter 5 so far? So far, so good, Epic Boy. Leia, I'm not completely dim-witted. I know how to think for myself, too. I've been getting wrapped up in all these like hot take conversations. I'm sure it's as Amiki said. It's not like it matters. Regardless of what I say, Amiki will always see me as the one responsible for murdering her family. That's not the type of response I was looking for. There's nothing more for me to say. Are you sure? I really hope you'll take the chance to open up to us, just as I've tried to express myself sincerely to you all. So you can backstab us? No, I'm just kidding. I know I'm not the most trustworthy person, especially with the way I've treated you all. But I think it'll be good for you. I don't think that's how he really feels. What are you talking about? He looked like he was carrying the whole world on his shoulders. He looked too tired and lonely for that to be the case. I don't think he took advantage of us for some ulterior motive. I think he was just treated with scorn and discrimination for so long that he couldn't help but be on edge around us. No matter the reason, no matter the cause, I don't want to turn a blind eye to someone fighting a lonely fight. Damn, Ahmed's a real one. Guys, everyone's talking about Naqual. I'll trust you understand me, Ran. It's true. Everyone, Ran was fighting that lonely fight. That's a good callback. What Ahmed said about Fenris back then. Now I understand what she meant. Like, how do you come to that realization now that, like, literally, he is the same as what you used to be? In the past, a friend of mine betrayed Ahmed and I and chose to side with our enemies. You're suddenly Did the writer forget that Rand faced a bunch of prejudice and discrimination and was outcast by his people for being a halfling? Or did I miss something here? Why, Rigby? Look, you're not allowed to be mad at Star Rail. At least not more mad than me. I lost the 50-50 on Black Swan. Okay? I'm the one that's supposed to be mad. Thoughts on Arya now, Sue? Racist. Terrible. You're suddenly being too sincere. He tried to manipulate Ahmed into participating in a dangerous ritual, abandoning our friendship in order to prevent me from putting a stop to it. I resented him deeply. As a result of his continued betrayal, we clashed often for quite long. To me, reconciliation was never an option. But later on I found out that all the conflicts and confrontations were part of his plan to atone for the wrongs he committed in the past. For his betrayal, he chose to pay the ultimate price. Off screen, mind you. His plan was to sacrifice himself to free me, Ahmed, and the world. But if I'm being honest, I couldn't accept his death off screen. I wasn't grateful for his sacrifice, or how he felt burdened by his sense of responsibility. What did you lose? How could you lose more than a 50-50, bro? No, I didn't get, well, I got arguably worse in my opinion. I got Clara. Now you might be like, oh, but Clara's cool. I already had Clara, and I'm free to play. Like, I want something else, right? Something new that helps me out. Learning the truth just left me more resentful, like I suffered an even greater betrayal. Why is that? It made me feel inadequate. He shouldered the weight of his burdens alone, but I had already turned my back to him. I could never learn to trust him again. For that, I hated him. I hated him for turning us all into fools. I hated him for being callous enough to not even leave behind a single apology or explanation. But most of all, I hated him for leaving us behind, with all our regret and resentment. Fenris, is that what you desire for Amiki? Damn. There's no way she listened to me in her state. She's been waiting all these years patiently for the day she'd enact her revenge on me. What? So you're worried you'll take away her will to live? That all her patient brooding and despair was for naught? Are you an idiot? Yes, he is, Ram. Oh, don't spoil it for me. Gente's already climbing? Explaining it to her now won't make a difference. It's too late. Is Gente still playing, or is it some... Are you sure it's Gente, not someone on Gente's account? I had heard Gente had quit, I thought. Are we getting Fenris? Probably at some point, Nicias. Explaining it to her now won't make a difference. It's too late. Even if I tell her I never called the Shadow Elves, it won't bring back the dead. Ladiki will never... Amiki, Ladiki, that's the best we could do? Okay. I know it's not right to think this way, but Ladiki only learned about and took interest in the Tree of Genesis because of me. It's my fault she died. The Tree of Genesis, I shouldn't have found interest in there. No, I've never been interested in it from the start. I just wanted to spend more time with her. Damn, he liked the girl. Ah, it's painful. Okay, I respect Fenris a bit more now after seeing this cutscene. Because it's essentially like he basically was in love with Amiki's sister and tried to, you know, just, oh, I like this girl. Like, this is what she's into? Sure, I'm into it too. And then accidentally got her killed as a result. Yeesh. Oh, I want maid Privity. I'm 5 multis deep and I don't have her. Nikke has been so unkind to me. This sucks too, because Privity is like my most played unit next to Drake. I played Drake and Privity for like everything. So when I saw we were getting a new version of Privity, I wanted it. And the game has not been kind to me. Tell Amiki what you told us. What? Tell her the truth. Exactly like you did now. Did you listen to a single thing I said? It's too la. I'll throw the same question back at you. Do you want to leave things like this? Will you never regret it for as long as you live? But still, if it's too frightening, I'll help you. I'll help you speak and help Amiki understand what happened. Don't think too much of it. Consider it returning the favor for your guidance in the forest. Helping you speak to her shouldn't be too difficult. And you guys will help too, right? Huh? Why me? To be fair, Ezra doesn't need to help, bro. He's got like a hole in his chest, bro. He's dying. Hey, Sue, I'm new to Nikke. Is Drake or Noir better to put on your wish list? Okay, so Noir is a better unit than Drake, but you need Blanc. If you don't have Blanc and Noir together, they are worthless. They have to be played together. Okay, you have Blanc but not Noir, then get Noir. Blanc plus Noir is top tier. Drake is good, but not great. I play Drake because I love Drake. I think Drake is the funniest character in the game. Drake is the Surmia of Nikke. Like, just read the current Valentine side story to understand how great Drake is. Drake is like a high tier character, right? In my opinion. Good character, just not great. I play Drake because I think Drake's cool. Lady, if I could gift you Haran, I would. I have a Core 3 Haran. I literally don't play it. The game keeps giving me Haran. I have so many copies of Haran. Nikke has a great story. Not a good story, a great story. Did we not agree to support you and work together as part of our alliance? But that's because you guys caused a huge mess. It could be of assistance to make things even slightly more... if we can be of assistance to make things even slightly more amicable, I welcome it. We'll do our best to convince Amiki. I'll leave you. Or I'll leave it to you, yes. Yeah, he'll leave you. You have a love-hate relationship with me? Oh, damn. I'm sorry. YouTube fam, are you hanging in there? I know that I've been going slowly through the story. I see some of you guys have dozed off. Something doesn't seem right. I definitely heard it was this way. We didn't need the electronic noise. We could just have the thunk. I think it would have landed a bit better. Just saying. Isn't this one of the Slayer robots? It seems so. Judging by what's nearby, it seems like a guard robot. Why are there robots? Like it's a high fantasy game. Like, yeah, Policia has robots, but like, why do the Slayers have robots? Will I be streaming Laya's release tomorrow? Yes. Laya's impressions will be in the morning, and then the stream for pulling her will be tomorrow night. Wait, it can't be. The Slayer member we're looking for is gone. I don't see any other humans either. Did they destroy the bots and make their escape? The other one is still over there, gasping. Gasp! The enemy! Why are you here alone? What happened to your friend? Where did he go? I don't know. I woke up and suddenly everyone was gone. Does that make any sense to you? How would he have disappeared from this confined space without you noticing? Even if you didn't see anything, it's impossible not to hear any noises during an escape. Clearly, I wasn't awake at the time. How do you expect me to hear everything when I was unconscious? What is going on? I agree. Nice, see you then. Alright, take care. Man, 84 bookmarks and a dream. And all these sky stones, I guess. There's a labyrinth level? Okay. Is there 8 chapters in this? Is it time for shop refreshing stream? No, that's tomorrow night. They've disappeared? It appears so. The prison gates and the guard robots were all severely damaged, and there were no signs of him there. Where's Fumir? Wasn't she with you all? She went elsewhere to finish casting the barrier, claiming that she was busy. Ahmed and I rushed straight here in order to find the missing Slayer. Was it already in this state when you arrived? Yes. I see. I feel like Leia doesn't trust us. The crucial witness in this case has suddenly vanished. We need to find them immediately, so it would be great if you guys could help. Sure, we've got no time to lose. Everybody split up and start looking. Well, to be fair, Rand, you move at 129 base speed. You should just outrun everyone. You made the decision to stay away from E7 until collab? I can respect that. To each their own. Why'd you pick me of all people? You could have gone with Rand or Arya. What do you mean why? It's because I get uneasy when I leave you alone. Why are you worried about me? I can take care of this just fine. You can still say that when you're always running away the first chance you get? Damn. Dude, I'm just spitting facts this whole chapter. Hurry up, I can sense something faint here. I know, I know. Yo, you know that Fenris over here, this character, the guy who can't use a bow, right? Like, that's the meme. The artwork has him with a bow and arrow, but he can't use it well. I'm telling you guys right now, this guy's a red knight. When he finally comes out, he'll be a red knight. Just how did he manage to escape without leaving behind a single trace? Plus, the traces of mana are so faint that they come and go. Could it be because it's entangled with the mana emitted from Fumir's barrier? Going berserk, sudden changes, and it's like what happened before. Oh, is this like the whole... How convenient everything is just going to tie back together to why the village was destroyed in the first place. Hey, Odysseus, thank you for the hydrate. Appreciate it. Wait, is this Amiki's sister? Ladiki? Why does she look like bootleg C2 from Code Geass? Okay. Your mother used to be an adventurer in the past. That's amazing. And she could handle magic? I'm so jealous. I want to go on adventures too. Yo, Ladiki Banner wins. Is this a record about the Tree of Genesis? The information is a bit sparse. Oh, the rest is concealed by magic? I'm so curious. I wish I could know what it says. Do you think Fenris is a Code Geass fan? What do you think about continuing your mother's legacy and investigating the tree? We can discover new information and leave our mark in history. Sometimes, it feels like my head is about to burst. I just explode with anger out of nowhere. It's like I want to go somewhere. No, like, I need to go. I don't know what to do, Fenris. I think something's wrong with me. Fenris, am I going to be okay? Please tell me I'll be okay. Damn, this is actually sad. But I don't want to give up. We promised to do this together, and just like you... Ladiki, where are you going? Ladiki! Don't leave me without you. Damn, this is sad. I can give up everything as long as you're with me. Please, don't go. Damn, dude, I feel for this guy. This guy was like... Me and Divine used to just hate this character. We're just like, he sucks. He's such like a whiny boy. And now that I know this, like, I'm like, all right, I feel for him. Like, now it all makes sense why he's like, he's such a dick. All right, let's be real here. Callan is the best girl on Code Geass. If you disagree, I'll fight you. Hey, hey. Is it? Yeah. Internal saying just like, wait, Ladiki's dead. That doesn't mean anything. There was Senya. Senya was a flashback. I've seen a similar situation before. What kind of situation? Did you remember something? Is it something about this magic? Whatever it is, can you tell me? It's getting harder and harder to pin down as time passes. What you remembered could be helpful. Ack. And then he died. Are you alright? My head feels like it's going to split. It's too difficult. You need it. No, he's being. It's magic. Sorry. Who knows? Maybe there's still a wah. Snap. Eh? Gulping. Okay. Damn it. He's running away. Hey, you. Stay right there. Over there. Let's go after him. That was interesting.
For a rare spectacle.
Yeah, actually, I'm enjoying this. I actually do think that they have stepped this up. Like, how has no one talked about this? Right? Like, I know I'm late to the party on the story, right? Like, it's been like what, a month or two since this came out? And I'm just now getting around to it. How's the new chapter so far? Let me see. Also, which do I enjoy the most? I think episode 2 or 1 or 2 is probably my favorite story so far. But this is actually good, right? Like, it's not... Okay. For Epic 7, it is good, right? Like, again, Nikke kind of goated with his writing right now. But this is good. Like, compared to what we normally get, this is actually quite good. Why are you alone? Where do the others go? And why do I need to tell you that? Let go of me. Sounds like he wants to do it the hard way. Gasping. This guy is like literally just like all sound effects. Not gonna lie, I hit the skip button. Really? You wonder how they plan to finish the story in the 4 episodes they left? Then again, most ESA... I mean, they could do like chapter 8 and then like 8S, right? Like they've done that before. It doesn't necessarily have to be that. They could honestly also go past 10 if they need to tell a better story. I woke up and the gates were open. There's nobody else. I swear. But I can still feel the mana nearby. Maybe it's mixing with the mana from the barrier, like you said. We should probably take this one back too. Should we head back for now? Yeah, okay, it doesn't seem like we have another option. Let's explore the area a bit more before we return. I just lost faith in SG for a long time. Episode 5 is good and all, but it's still not as hype. I'm still not as hyped as episode 2/3. Okay. Yeah, I can feel that. Like, I remember when episode 3 was shown, like, because episode 2 was good. Episode 3 was shown, and I was like, oh my god, Luna! Like, the trailer had Luna, and we were just like, no way! If they had more voice acting in the E7 story, I'd probably be more inclined to follow along with it. That's also fair. Every time a new story thing is added, there's only, like, one guy who posts something on Reddit that gets 7 upvotes. That's depressing. Because, like, I do think this is, like, pretty solid. Like, this story right here, episode 5, is, like, leagues better than 4. And it's in a much better spot than even 3 was. It seems the two of us ended up traveling together. I didn't expect there to only be one path in this direction. Since it's come to this, why don't we join forces? And thank you for helping us with the search. Given the circumstances, it's only to be expected. Aria, does everything you say have to be, like, so prickly? However, you seem to be finding your way well. It doesn't even look like you need my help. The path of the mana, you seem to be following it accurately. Well, I suppose I've learned a bit of magic myself. I don't have a particular aptitude for it, though, so I'm much more comfortable wielding weapons with my own hands. Humans might not inherently be blessed with an innate talent for it, like Shadow Elves, but we also possess and manipulate mana. I'm well aware. Still, is it just keen eyesight or good intuition? Alright, something doesn't add up with this girl. I'm not gonna ban you for that take. Saying Twilight is a better story than episode 4 is not... That's not even a hot take. That is a very cold take. Episode 4 is easily one of the worst stories I have seen in a game. It is bad. You're just waiting for Tristan to sum it all up in a lore video? Oh no. I'm nowhere near your ability to distinguish between different types of mana. Speaking of which, can you sense the aura from back then? Faintly. And what does it feel like? To put it simply, its properties differ from the mana utilized by Shadow Elves, but there's quite a few similarities. Despite being relatively intense and challenging to control, it's not so difficult for a Shadow Elf to handle. Of course, for humans who haven't handled similar mana before, it's a different story. You said it felt familiar. Could it be that they have the same roots? Well, I'm not exactly sure how it's been manipulated or how it was derived. That's highly likely. That must mean it originates from the Tree of Genesis, given its properties and characteristics. That's right. Do you think Famir would have some insight on it? I wonder. I did mention it to her, but she seemed disinterested. Perhaps indifferent is a better word? I guess even though it's a similar type of magic, it's not particularly useful for her research. That Famir was indifferent about a power that could be related to the tree? Listen, that doesn't sound right. I just heard something. There's definitely a human. Some humans' foot. Do you have to put it like that? Can't you say it's someone's human? Someone's footsteps? Some humans' footsteps with that facial expression, lady? Where did they go? Yuffie Kisaragi, by the way, everyone. Wait, episode 4 of the story? Oh no.
You're not half bad.
How dare those...
I don't really enjoy this. You wanna see? I can do it too.
I can sense mana in this direction, but it's also spread out over there. To the front, there seems to be footprints hurriedly scattered along the ground. Looks like front it is. You scared me. What are you doing here? You got my hopes up thinking I had found them. Why are you here? I'm sure I saw you heading in the other direction. Is Amiki a traitor? That's none of your business. Now beat it. You're being a nuisance. I see you're still as petulant as ever. Was it here? Step aside, idiot. Damn. I've got... Yo. What was that noise earlier? I'm wasting my energy and time because of you. Quick to blame others. Who exactly told you to follow me? Annoying. Look, the path here is complicated, so someone like you would only be a hindrance. Go search somewhere else. Yeah, I'm starting to think that Amiki is actually... what's his name? I'm starting to think Amiki is actually a, like a traitor, maybe. Let's see, Runka, who has a skill tacked on S1 because they forgot to let her use the Autumn Sword. Yup. Lua, who showed up and got yeeted within a... Dude, Lua is actually, like, just a terribly written character, because she just thinks she's... Her whole story is just, huh, I'm a genius? Cool. I guess that makes me the best. And then when she finds out she's not the best, she kicks the bucket. Such a boring character. An insanely good character design just wasted. Oh, dude, don't get me started. Sharoon is awful. I was like, oh, Sharoon is like the inside person, like, right? Like the spy that can help us overthrow Xiao. Like, that's like what I got from like her setup. It was like, she feels like there's something wrong with the Emperor. And I thought she was gonna like help us out. Instead, she was just like, nope, I'm generic like minion number 1. That's my Emperor. Yeah, I'm aware that it's like an evil god that's gonna kill us all, but like it's the Emperor, gotta serve it. Yeah. Isn't tired carrying around so much hatred? What did you say? Your prejudice against Shadow Elves is blinding you to the truth. You choose to hate us, but you have no real reason to do so. If I think about it, it's actually quite unfair. On one end, I'm scorned by Shadow Elves for being a half-blood, and on the other, I'm met with suspicion and derision by humans. Don't be so obstinate. We're the ones constantly navigating a web of double binds. Ever since your group entered the Eastern Fortress, we've been put at a disadvantage. It's your fault where we were ambushed by our enemies. Oh, was Sharoon brainwashed? If she was, then I guess I missed it. In which case, my bad. But, yeah, no, I really thought there was going to be more to it with Sharoon. She doesn't really, even if she's brainwashed, it doesn't change the fact that she's just a jobber, basically. They didn't do anything with the character. The conflict at the fortress escalated due to the erratic behavior of Slayer members, not us. It's clear that internal strife was the turning point. The Shadow Elves lurking outside the fortress could have easily discerned something was amiss and seized the opportunity to attack. Yet you didn't even mention that part. And, so given those possibilities, you're confident in claiming that you've done nothing wrong? No, that issue was already resolved by Leia's judgment. Even if I'd like to explain it to you, we both know you have no intentions of hearing us out. Rather, don't lash out without even considering other perspectives. One day, when you realize the truth, you'll be filled with regret. And the longer it takes you to realize that, the bigger your regret will become, to the point that it can consume you all the more severely. When you lose sight of yourself and your target of resentment, all you'll have left is the weight of your remorse. There will be no more path towards reconciliation. If you could handle that, do as you please. Alright, Rand is actually incredibly based in this segment. Okay, so yeah, Sharoon was brainwashed? Yeah, okay. Thank you for pointing it out. I have another person pointing it out for me. Still doesn't change the fact that just wasted potential of an excellent character design. There's too many of those in episode 4. Character looks great, nothing happens with them. Who do you think you are to lecture me with your unsolicited opinions? Don't cross the line. I might not know what the exact I might not know the exact details, but I can make a rough guess of how you feel. What a load of I actually like that. She's like, yeah, she catches herself. She's like, what a load of bullshit. Listen, just because Leia granted you some reprieve doesn't mean you're in the clear. Why don't you be careful not to have any regrets yourself? Yeah, episode 3 and 4 have a ton of wasted potential. I agree. Like, 3 is like, starts kind of bad, gets kind of good, and then tanks. Episode 4, the promise of Rand is good. The promise of Hua Young is good. Everything else, trash. Me? I've already had my fill of regrets. But if we're going to regret it anyways, we might as well just run away before we're unfairly sentenced. Damn, she is so pissed. She is so pissed. Stop joking around. Do you really want to die? Running away won't change the fact that your fate is already in our hands. Damn, she is stuck up. I hope she's either the traitor or she gets her just desserts. Good luck, Volteca. Hopefully it's as good as mine. Even better than mine. What was that? Were you not talking about me? Catch him! Idiot. Damn. I was hoping for more from Loa, considering her skill set. Thought she'd be this BAMF, you know? No, I agree. Like, they made Lua out to feel like she's like the mastermind, like the super confident, super powerful, like super intelligent. Like, hey, I carefully calculated all these plans, and then it was like, actually, she's just an idiot. No, Jamie, I did not. I absolutely... Auden is the worst character narratively in the whole game, aside from one other person, and that's Teiyu. Both Auden and Teiyu are not even important in their own story. They are irrelevant. Taking care of fools who only know how to run away is a piece of cake. Why are you staring at me like that? Do you want to give me a compliment? Praise is always welcome. Damn, dude. He really is Sonic the Hedgehog. Stop speaking nonsense. As you can see, we're clearly not just nuisances. Isn't it about time you admitted being wrong? Damn, bro. Like, Rand is cooking in this level. You're so irritating. Hey, don't leave on your own. At least take the escapee with you. You bring him in. What am I, your porter?
Not bad for such a wretched...
As Divine put it, it was impossible to take the story seriously when Hua Young was like, I may be weak and I may have lost my arms, but my successor, Fire Ken, will handle things. Meanwhile, she is the most busted thing ever in RTA at the time. It's true. It's true. Like, I expect a level... Like, this is what we were talking about this, at this beginning. Somebody asked me, is story that important? Yes, because I want to be invested in your world, your characters, your game, right? Your story. And when I like it a lot, when gameplay elements meet the story, right?
I was born to be a hero.
Like, if ML Ken got stronger like Spectre Tenebria when he killed somebody, that would be on brand, because his whole thing is he's basically Jet Li's the one. He travels across the multiverse searching for a challenger, and he gets stronger after every single fight. Like, okay, why is that not like represented in his gameplay? That would be really sick, no? Whoa, 50 Mystic Medals. That could be an ML Politis one day. How was it? Did you find them? Just a bunch of wanderers. Same with us. Looks like none of us managed to catch the most important one. Seems so. Perhaps they've already made their escape? According to this fellow here, the gate was already broken by the time they woke up. If we presume it's been some time since the escape occurred, they might have made it outside by now. As a former Slayer, they probably know their way around here pretty well. Should we have started searching outside earlier? In the past, I once read something. Those who receive the blessings of the Tree of Genesis will transcend limitations and evolve, capable of calling forth powerful magic. They shall enjoy the fruits of nigh immortality. Sounds like foreshadowing for a boss. But the price of omnipotence must be an equivalent exchange. In return, one must relinquish that which is intrinsic. Relinquish something intrinsic? I don't know what that means either. It was never specified. Where did you read this? I stumbled upon it by chance back in Scuggy. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get a closer look at the book. What does it mean to relinquish something intrinsic? Is it talking about giving up what one already possesses? Like giving up a property or making offers? Or like giving up property or making offers? But those might vary depending on one's circumstances. It doesn't seem universally applicable. Do you think it's talking about the self? The self? Like your ego? Remember the state of the Slayer at the time? He was silent, out of sorts, and almost seemed as if he had lost all sense of reason. It's like you speculated, sister, that magic was related to the Tree of Genesis. Wouldn't that imply that they received the tree's power? And for living, breathing beings like us, what could be more fundamentally intrinsic than our sense of self? Dude, Ahmed's actually kind of good. Fenris, you mentioned earlier that you've seen something similar before. Yes. So it's not completely implausible. What happened to that person in the end? Eventually, they disappeared. Damn, you become a berserker? True! Seems like we've reached a general understanding of the situation and hypothesis for what happened. Given the urgency of the situation now, I suggest we expand our search radius to outside the fortress. I'll proceed to instruct the other members. You guys should start searching ahead of us. Sounds good. Damn it. What's going on? If I keep my mouth shut, can I really survive? What are they planning to do with me? That shadow elf woman. What's she up to? Which one? Oh, is it Fumir? Is Fumir the traitor? Why am I locked up? I remember I was in the middle of making a deal with those vagrants. Wait, then what happened? The deal fell through and then... So you were also there. Oh no, Fumir. Are you the villain? Seeing as you've come to your senses, I guess only the other one was a success. I thought everything would proceed smoothly as long as they were greedy, but perhaps it's still unstable. I don't particularly like how the targets seem to be random. Oh my god, she's actually using magic from the tree on people. She's experimenting on people. What are you doing here? What have you done to us? It's your fault we've ended up like this. Oh my, how rude. Let's be clear about one thing. None of this was my fault. It's all because you stole my trinket. It doesn't seem like this was your first time either. Trying to deal in items imbued with mind mana? How stupid can you be? Let's see. You not only broke Slayer regulations, but you were engaging in illicit trades with the outsiders for an item that was, what was it? Imbued with the mana of Shadow Elves? With all those infractions, oh my, I wouldn't be surprised if they decided to execute you. A traitor who coveted power, collaborated with enemy forces, and incited a rebellion. Isn't that such an intriguing story? Damn. Damn. You know as well as I do that it was your item. You're supposed to be on our side. Treason? That's a ridiculous accusation. I was just trying to acquire items that could bolster our forces and sell them at a high price, whoever the customer. Aw, it's a shame I have no interest in your pathetic squabbles. The matter of your execution is for you to deal with, isn't it? Oh, but I do suppose your illicit activities are known only to me. Then, what people discover is all up to you. Will the whole base learn of your atrocious betrayal? Or will they be none the wiser? I wonder, just what shall I do? What do you want from me? You? Nothing. What's that supposed to be? Exactly what I said. There's nothing more for you to do. Oh, man. Can I ask you one thing? What is it? There was another colleague beside me. Where did he go? Oh, him? He's already gone. A greedy appetite, that one. Due to his avarice, he was exposed to too much of its influence. What are you talking about? The strange aura you saw? It pursues primal desires, whatever they may be, without discrimination. I assume your friend was the fearless and insatiably greedy type, or perhaps he was just the closest in proximity to its spreading influence. For whatever reason, he was particularly susceptible to its power and lost his sanity, something akin to only his primal instincts remain, like a raging beast. Looks like you called it, Ed. In fact, a berserker. And then he disappeared. That's all you need to know. Aw, are you scared? Terrified? Worried that you might become a deranged beast? Then don't pry any further. After all, these matters are quite dangerous for frail humans like yourself. Not if you understand, dear. If you want to keep your dignity intact, I advise you to hold on to that fear tightly. And next time, don't meddle with powers beyond your control. An insignificant little worm like you just simply isn't worthy. Damn, the sass on this woman. Oh, dude, that was sick. Alright. Yeah, Famira's not exactly a good person. I still like her. But, oh, man. Yo, do we like? Is Fumir actually like genius mode writing yet? Or is that where we're at? True, Xeno, but it's okay. We love her anyway. Something wrong with the bad ones. We like bad girls. Hey, Amiki, did you drop by again because you thought I'd be bored? As if I came to ask you something. What is it? The guy who stabbed you in the back disappeared. What? Do you know anything that could help? You were somewhat close to him, being that you guys joined at the same time. Well, that's true, but I don't know any more than you do about what happened after he went berserk. I'm not even sure why he lost his mind in the first place. Damn, everything feels like a dead end. Ever since those Shadow Elf brats appeared, everything's gone awry. We should have never let them in. You don't think those brats stole him away, do you? Because he might be crucial evidence about the Shadow Elf raid case? Hey, there you go again, making assumptions again. Relax. Nothing else makes sense. I can fix her, but I don't want to. About Famir. So any ideas what I can do about this 29% defense chest, speed chest? Send me a picture of it so I can see what it looks like. I can give you some recommendations for it. Listen, I'm not particularly fond of them either, but you really need to do something about that attitude of yours. It's not fair to suspect them just because they're Shadow Elves. Let's presume this was their plan all along. They already achieved their goals, so why would they loiter around the fortress? It would have been safer for them to deal a heavy blow than immediately vanish while they had the chance. I know, but I need to vent my frustrations at someone. You always were the emotional type. Although now that I think about it, that guy... I'm tired, guys. So this is like the flashback. There's the selfish one. Oh, hey, been a while. Oh, yeah, it's been too long. Ever since our shifts changed, it's been hard to see your face, but aren't you supposed to be on patrol right now? I am, but something came up, so I had someone take over. Is it something serious enough to warrant changing your shift? And what's in that pouch? Oh, if it's money, buy me some chocolate bread. You got chocolate bread? Come on, I don't have enough to buy you bread. You got bread, bro. You got bread to buy bread. Then what's all that for? You're planning to head out of the fortress, right? Who are you meeting at this hour? I walk around secretly like that? Did you get a girlfriend? Dude, this Ezra guy, he kind of chill. What's with all the questions? It's nobody's business who I meet. We joined the Slayers around the same time. Aren't we close enough to let each other know about what we do in our spare time? I kind of wish this wasn't just like a faithless NPC. Like, I wish it was like a unique original NPC, like how in episode 1 we had like the pug. Like, this really shouldn't just be a faceless NPC, I feel like. Not sure how to get you a pick, but it's 9% health, 29% defense, 9 speed, 16% AR. That's a Soul Weaver piece. Soul Weaver or Night piece. That's all there is to it. We joined the Slayers around the same time. Oh, okay, yeah, cool. I read that already. You don't need to know. Stop being nosy. Wash up and go to bed. Damn. Man, I don't know what you're up to, but it's cheap to go off all on your own to have fun. A pouch full of money? I didn't get a good look because he was in such a rush, but it looked like a substantial amount. When was this? Maybe around 3 or 4 days before the Shadow Elves attack? And you didn't... Bro, you didn't say nothing? You never heard of see something, say something? What? Instead of being suspicious the whole time, why not observe the Shadow Elves yourself by following them around? What? Why should I? Now that I think about it, we have no idea who that guy was planning to meet with all that money. What if it was the Shadow Elves? You said you can't trust them, right? What if they're plotting something while we aren't keeping them under watch? Even if it's not necessarily because we suspect them, they could unintentionally cause an unexpected accident, you know? His injuries are killing him. Quit the theatrics. I heard you'll be fully recovered within just a few days rest. But what if something happens during those exact few days? Dude, this guy's a bro. Okay, I get it. I'll make sure to watch over them. Alright, so... Amiki's definitely the worst Slayer so far. Have you finished speaking? Did you find out anything? Perhaps, but that's not any of your concern. Damn, this girl's such a jerk. Jeez, fine. Sorry I asked. Annoying bastard. Why is he keeping quiet and pretending to be all innocent with that stupid, clueless face? I mean, to be fair, his face is kind of clueless. Claudia was the best, man. She was my favorite Slayer. How dare he? After what he's done to my sister? Hey, look, it's C2 again. Equilibria. She's from Equilibria, the place where everyone has good balance. Sister, are you heading out again? Yeah, why? You're going to meet with that Fenris or whatever again, aren't you? Only doing fun things by yourself. It's unfair. I want to go too. No, you should stay home. Why not? How come you could go, but I can't? I want to go. Man, even as a child. Eesh. You never tell me what you're up to. It's not fair. I'm going to tell Mom that you're always leaving me alone to meet with some strange beau. Shut up. And then she cries. Damn, she was like, shut up! I'm already a nervous wreck because of all the stress, but now you too? Please, can you stop bothering me already? It's hard enough that I constantly feel annoyed these days for no reason. Jeez. I wonder if, like, Famir was experimenting on this girl because she saw, like, Fenris. Like, because remember, Fenris is, like, her quote-unquote son. So I'm wondering if it was like, huh, my son likes this girl? Research. Guinea pig. I just want to play with my big sister. What happened? Why is she being so mean to me? I'm scared. Where did my kind sister who always played with me go? Ladiki. Yeah, I'm torn because I'm sorry. This chapter is starting to make it sound like, hey, Fumir's probably not a good person. But I love that character's design. Yeah, right, ATK, time to run experiments on my son, Squeeze. Ever since she started hanging out with him, her personality changed. And then she disappeared without a single word. Not long after, my village was attacked and destroyed. If it's not that bastard's fault, then whose is it? Ever since Fenris appeared, whether it was back then or now, only misfortune has ever followed. You ever notice that, like, his adopted mom is also there and you don't know anything about her? Maybe it's her. Her gaze is really intense. I can see why you're having trouble speaking to her. Forget about it. Right now our main priority is looking for the missing Slayer. What should we do about those two? Damn.
I will show you grace. By granting you death.
I don't really enjoy this.
What the heck? I can't get anything higher than 144p? No, it's, I promise you, it is streaming higher than that. See, even on my end, it shows that at least I can get higher than that.
Let us begin.
I can do it too.
Hey, hi, how are you, Clyde?
A lion.
Try refreshing stream. Because that even I could get higher than that when I visit my own stream. Let me see. Wait, actually, you know what? Let's not do that.
See?
I don't want to accidentally cause an echo. I'm gonna restart YouTube. Okay. Let me know if it doesn't change. I mean, I am streaming it in the same quality both to Twitch and YouTube simultaneously. And correct me if I'm wrong, chat over on Twitch. I believe it's the quality's fine. All right. A weird energy, the Tree of Genesis, and the Price of Power. The Price of Power costs 5 mana and lets you draw 5 cards for 5 life. Those who receive the blessings of the Tree of Genesis will transcend limitations and evolve. Capable of calling forth powerful magic, they shall enjoy the fruits of nigh immortality. But the price of omnipotence must be an equivalent exchange. In return, one must relinquish something intrinsic. I wonder if Fumir is experimenting on people giving up their sense of self to perfect the spell, so that she can basically become the god. That's my guess from right now. Yo, what's going on, 9,000? That must mean it originates from the Tree of Genesis, given its properties and characteristics. Hey, not hey. At least among the Shadows, I was probably the closest to it. Back then, I was just so filled with curiosity about what it looked like and discovering how it granted us its powers. Of course, there's no way she was unfamiliar with the tree's powers. When we brought it up, she cleverly redirected the conversation. What do you mean? It looks like we're going to have to meet with Fumir. Why are you suddenly bringing up nonsense? We're busy looking for someone. Endlessly searching around without any clear direction will just be a waste of time and resources. We should start over with the strange energy as the clue. The energy clearly had something in common with our mana. No matter how corrupted and distorted it becomes, if the origins are the same, the essence of the magic will stay unchanged. There's no way Fumir, who's approached the Tree of Genesis, doesn't know something. Perhaps she can even find a way to track the traces of its residual mana. She makes sense. I agree. What do you think, Amiki? I think my sister's ideas are reasonable. Alright, let's head to Fumir's residence for now. Follow me. Yeah, I'm starting to think that Fumir is in fact the villain.
Brace yourself for a rare spectacle.
Tomorrow. Laya comes out tomorrow. Impressions video for Laya in the morning, and then actual character at night. I kind of hate that they don't give us the official reveal trailer early. I really wish. It's kind of really rough to have to wait that long.
Sure.
I know people like Jenna and stuff have already talked about her, so I'm sure everybody already here knows what the kit does, so.
I don't really enjoy this. I can do it too.
Hey, look, it's Fumir's theme is playing again. Maybe Fumir has already lost her senses? Oh, true. those of you on YouTube, are you also locked to 144p? I'm just trying to see if it's just on one end or not. It's because it shows in my preview that it's higher than that. Why are there so many barriers set up? Every item is meticulously protected by a barrier to prevent anyone from laying their hands on them. What a sight. It goes up and down? Ever since Famir arrived in Equilibria, the whole area is like this. It's my domain, so don't disturb my research, so to speak. Day in and day out, she's performing weird magical experiments. She's so irritating. It seems like the person of interest isn't here. She was in such a hurry earlier. Has she still not returned? Should we wait? This is tricky. We're running out of time. She'll probably return in a moment. Looking around, there didn't seem to be any other places suitable for researching magic. Then let's just wait for a bit. And if she still doesn't return by then, we'll resume our search for the missing person. Jeez, my legs hurt. Amiki, you should come over here and get some rest as well. Don't wanna. Why is it that I lock the hydration? It's because y'all spam it. If I take the timer off of the hydration, I will literally... I was drinking more than a gallon of water for a 2.5-hour stream every time I would go on stream. Thank you for the hydrate to go. Sounds healthy. You read domain and immediately thought of JJK the Brainrise. Domain expansion. Like Fumir just domain expansion. Chat is looking out for you. You care about my well-being and health? Bro. I'm ungrateful. Did you say you didn't know much about the tree? Nope, it's not just me. Most of the people living in the village are uninterested in that sort of thing. In the midst of war, people are too busy fighting to eat and survive. Things like the tree aren't important to them. Plus, getting involved with such dangerous powers can end up causing trouble, just like what happened with my sister. Originally, not just anyone could approach the Tree of Genesis or whatever the thing is, right? Even Famir suffered the consequences after acting recklessly, didn't she? If that's what you Shadow Elves are saying, what can us humans hope to achieve? Now that you mention it, something is strange. What do you mean? That Slayer... Isn't he also just a normal human? Yeah? Why? Then how was he able to obtain such powers? That's true. Unlike Shadow Elves, humans aren't inherently born with a connection to mana. The books I read at the Eastern Fortress mention something similar. In order to obtain its powers, humans must overcome trials more agonizing than death. It's also said that's how vampires came into existence. But then how did a mere human, who's neither a vampire nor Shadow Elf, acquire a power like that? Ladiki changed gradually. She didn't change abruptly like the missing Slayer. It was more like a gradual erosion over time. Fenris, don't tell me what you saw was. Everything about this is suspicious. Uh-oh. It's time. Okay, thank you, Flo. Thank you for reporting in. I was worried that the quality of the stream was not good for y'all. Because I want to have to try and fix it if there was something wrong. Witch's District. Alright. It's time for the plot reveal, surely. The price of lost trust. Uh-oh. Here you are. Is this where they kill our newly introduced 3-star to prove a point? Ah. Caught in my secret little resting spot. What are you talking about? Someone like you can relax whenever, or wherever, whenever. Have you finished setting up all the barriers? Of course. To an awesome mage like me, it's cakewalk. I see. Good work. Do you have something to say to me? Was it obvious? The illustrious Leia herself came all the way down to this remote corner looking for me. You must have something important to discuss. You're right. I do have something to ask you. If it's something you need my help with, it must be related to magic. That's right. If I'm being precise, it's about what happened in the East. You must already know what I'm talking about. Yes, I've heard about it. If so, why haven't you discussed it any further? Oh, by it, what could you possibly be referring to? Whenever, wherever, That's the Lulica promise. That's funny. You know, don't you? The identity of that mysterious energy. Why would you think that? According to the Shadow Elves from Nadalon, the magic sense at the Eastern Fortress is not entirely distinct from the mana used by the Shadow Elves. Shadow Elves' mana is derived from the Tree of Genesis, and there are cases of humans being bestowed the tree's powers as well. Furthermore, the power and physical traits wielded by the vampires are characteristically different from those of Shadow Elves. And thanks to you, I can also sense the difference, albeit faintly. The power you gave to me, I've been putting it to good use, even though I traded the data of the Tree of Genesis acquired in Sangarat for it. Alright, Leia's dying. I'm just letting you guys know now, chat. There's no way this character is not dead. Like, you basically gave one of the pieces of Exodia to Fumir in exchange for what? Sensory powers? To be unknowingly made a guinea pig? If Fumir ends up being the villain, like the mastermind, like, kudos. This is what I expected out of Lua. This is Lua done right. The power you gave to me, I've been putting it to good use. Okay, so we were out. Is that so? Then all is well. You're much more resourceful than I gave you credit for. Damn, she is really condescending with that. But Fenris did mention something interesting. Apparently, when one receives such transcendent power, they lose something of theirs in return. However, judging by the context, what they lose doesn't necessarily seem to be something material in nature. If one were to proceed by the original means, they would have already suffered through enough trials to attain what they have. It's rather unlikely they'd have to make any additional sacrifices. And the records didn't specify what they'd have to give up in exchange. Fenris said that? Yes, perhaps this is a result of fear or trauma, but he looked quite hesitant to speak on it. I think now, he's finally made up his mind. Oh right, there's one more thing I forgot to mention. Remember the member who suddenly went berserk due to unknown causes? We found your broken trinket in his possession. Uh-oh. When am I going to do more of those trips down memory lane videos? So interesting to learn about the game's history. I'll do one on Tamarin sometime very soon. Within the next, like, week or so. Aha! And now you find me suspicious. Suspicious? What a scary word to use between two people who trust each other. I figured if it's you, you might have some insightful piece of information. Oh, dude, Leia is too smooth. This girl's actually galaxy brain. She knows exactly that she's potentially walking into a trap and not actually tip her hand. Why do people keep bothering me with pointless inconveniences? What was that noise? It sounded nearby. I wonder, what was that noise? You said you finished setting up the barrier. Mm-hmm, I did. Fumir, what have you done? Leia, between two people who trust each other, can I give you a piece of advice? Oh no. Closely observing your surroundings and being cautious of those around you is important. But before you do all that, it's important to take care of yourself first. Oh boy. Why are they chasing us all of a sudden? They were sitting still until just a moment ago. You were feeling stiff earlier and moving around everywhere. You probably nudged them on accident. I didn't touch anything. I wasn't even near them. What is chasing? Oh my god. What the hell? Look, you guys control these robots, right? Do something. I can't control these because Fumir modified them. She took some discarded robots and fixed them up, saying she needed them for some experiments. But why are they calling us intruders? Are they attacking us because they think we're trespassing? If that were the case, they would have started attacking us the moment we entered. Why would they start now? If it's Fumir, she could probably defend the whole area with the power of her barriers alone. Why would she rely on those robots? When she first took them, she never said anything about using them for security or patrol. She said it was for magical experiments. You said they were meant to be discarded. Could they be malfunctioning? Their condition seems off. Wait a moment. That's the strange aura I sensed back in the east. No way. Could it be here too? If all the barriers were set up, then how? Oh man, this is definitely the plot twist.
For such a wretched being.
We are definitely plot twisting.
Accept what you deserve.
It hurts.
Now, let us begin.
This kills everybody, right? The twist has been plotted. Yeah, this has been good. This chapter, like this chapter 5 for episode 5, this has been good.
Okay.
Kudos. Daddy Mort will save us. I don't know about that.
I will show you grace by granting you death.
This is getting exciting. You're not
Daddy Mort died for our sins. Man, people love Mort. I mean, to be fair, he's a pretty cool character. That's a lot of counters.
Let us begin.
Come on.
My way.
I don't really enjoy this.
Brace yourself for a rare spectacle.
They cooking. Trust. It ain't over yet. Okay, Francis. I'll trust. I'll trust.
I hate the darkness.
Mort is tied for the title of manliest man in E7.
Suffering.
I don't know. Dark Corvus. I think Corvus has got that locked up. Have they finally stopped? Yeah, we've destroyed all their power sources, so they won't be able to move. The strange menace is still lingering. It's fine. Possessing mana is different from being able to wield it. Mere machines wouldn't know how to use spells. For now, I'll go around gathering the damaged parts. Maybe they'll help us identify the cause of the attack, or the weird mana. Oh, Leia, you've returned. Were you able to contact the other members? Show me brainwashing! You came just in time. We're going to need some help cleaning up. We can discuss the details when we head back. Leia? Are you listening to me? What's wrong with her? Alright. So we introduced a 3-star just to kill it. Seems like a plan. Do you think the limited hero Kazumi or something? Are you talking about Kizuna Ai? Flo, are you talking about Kizuna Ai as the limited character? She was a collab hero. Yeah, I don't think Kizuna Ai will come back. And that is not on Smilegate's decision. So if you don't know, Kizuna Ai is the second most popular VTuber in the world. And she is currently on hiatus. She is decided to step away and take a break. So there's no streams, no videos, no deals, no concerts, nothing's happening with her until she decides to come back, if she decides to come back. So if she doesn't come back, there's no Kizuna Ai. You're just not going to get that collab, hero. Sorry to say. That's just the honest truth. Like, there's nothing Smilegate can do about that. Unless they do go with, like I said, the reskin idea. Then sure. She is only slightly less likely to rerun than Espa. No, Espa is, like, in my opinion, like 10,000 times more likely to rerun than Kizuna Ai. Like, I'm fairly confident Kizuna Ai is, like, done for a long time. Like, Espa is still a thing, just because certain parts of the player base might not agree with things, or there might be contractual issues, right? Espa is more feasible than Kizuna Ai. Like, getting Kizuna Ai is literally like moving heaven and earth, it feels like. What is a VTuber? A VTuber is a virtual YouTuber. Essentially, someone like the content creator in the Epic 7 space, Valky. Rather than, you know, my face, you know, my ugly mug that you see here on camera, they instead use a digital avatar, a virtual avatar, in its place. So it's essentially a content creator or a live streamer that uses typically an anime avatar instead of their actual appearance. Kizuna Ai is not the first VTuber, but she's the first one to popularize it. Like, she's the reason we kind of have VTubers. She is massive. Even, like, now, like, she's retired and hasn't really, like, done a lot over the last, like, 2 or 3 years, right? Before she retired. And she's still the second biggest one in terms of subscribers on the internet. Must be eradicated. What are you trying to say? Speak properly. Prejudice, persecution must be eradicated. Amiki, watch out. What are you doing? She's mind controlling. Why are you attacking me? What's going on? Don't approach her. She's not in her right mind. What? It's that strange aura again. It feels stronger and more intense than before, as if it's been gradually accumulating over time. Does that mean that Leia knew about the existence of that magic and accepted it? As of now, that seems to be the only explanation. I'm okay. Take care of yourselves. This isn't the time to talk. First, we need to subdue her. We can figure out the details later. Cool. Time to spam hydrate till I'm a fish. Okay, I gotta go get more water.
Not bad for such a
Let me go get the pitcher. I'll be right back.
Accept what you deserve. I will lend you my strength.
I can do it too.
Show me what you got.
I don't really enjoy this.
Fuck me if you can.
I can do it too.
IP. That's what's stopping Smilegate.
Four. Who's gonna die first?
So, look at it this way, right?
I was born to be a hero.
Like, so for example, we've had Full Metal Alchemist as a collab, right? So you have to contact the people that have the copyright for Full Metal Alchemist. Like, you can't just put Full Metal Alchemist in your game without asking them. You'll get sued. Right? That's how that works. So they say, okay, we want to put Edward Elric in our game. What are your terms? And they say, like, oh, give us X amount of money, and you can use Edward Elric, but you can only promote him and use his likeness during this period. You can only sell him basically during this period. And they go, okay, cool. It's why if you ever notice when certain content creators, like when I'm on like Orbis Overdrive and stuff, like I can't name non-Epic 7 characters sometimes. Like unless I'm talking or pertaining to the state of balance or the state of the game, they really don't like it if you refer to certain collab heroes because like they don't have the rights for that. And they might be like liable for something. So as for why Kizuna Ai is not being rerun, they don't have the authority to do that. If they just gave everybody a Kizuna Ai and whoever represents her finds out about that, they could just sue Smilegate. So they just can't do that. That's not how that works. Called himself ugly. It's true. Why are we mad? Hey, what's going on, Keiki? Kizuna Ai, like the character being limited, people are asking, will it ever come back? And considering Kizuna Ai is currently on hiatus indefinitely, well, we're just not going to get the character. If Kizuna Ai ever comes back and announces like she's making a return to the space, then sure, you might get it. But until then, nope, probably not. There's the hydrate again. You have the most dude, my skin's already good. Okay. You think I don't use moisturizer? Okay. They can't pay her again. They could pay her for the royalties, but like, what if she says no? And honestly, I don't feel like Smilegate has like a super great incentive to try to get Kizuna Ai back because, well, Kizuna Ai didn't exactly do like the best job, if I'm being 100% honest, with the collab deal. Because part of the bargain was that Kizuna Ai would sing a cover of Promise because she does obviously music, and the collab period had like come and gone, and then like 3 months had gone by, and it was like, hey, where's that Promise cover? And then like it just kind of went out the door. Like, hey, here's that Promise cover I forgot to give you. So based on how that went, they might not have an incentive to want to work with them again. I know you want 100% journal completion, but like that's the best I got for you. At least their kit's not amazing. It's not the point. It's just they want the journal. Like, some people are completionists. You're not weak enough to get taken over by such pathetic power. I'm not, like, derailing our story here. Amiki. Yes, it's me, Amiki. Are you back to your senses? Chase. We have to chase right this instant. Chase what? What happened to you? Famir, we need to chase after her now. Famir? That deceitful little... She tricked us all and ran away. She could have gone too far. We need to hurry. That road leads west. It leads towards the city center of Skuggy. Ran away. Has Famir betrayed us? It was within the realm of expectation, but to think we'd be blindsided this quickly. I'm fine. Hurry and go. How can we just leave you here? We can't afford to lose her. Damn, dude, she is... This character is so based. I told you, didn't I? I never fully trusted Famir. I might have been caught off guard, but I can still hold on. I have preparations in place for situations like this, so head out first. I'll handle things here with the remaining members. I'll quickly sort things out and catch up soon. But Leia, in your condition, you said it yourself, I'm not weak enough to be beat by such pathetic magic. I'm much stronger than you are, so why are you worrying about me? Go, before. What if she's like, actually bet I'm stronger? Hurry. I'll head out first. Promise that you'll follow soon, and make sure to keep a strong hold on your mind. I promise. I promise. That I get, but at least it's not like, hey, you can't beat X stage if you don't have her. What the hell? They're both 3-stars. She can't talk to Amiki though. They can't take people away from you because, well, the situation regarding Kizuna Ai, she was released to help promote the Japanese server launch because it wasn't exactly the best. Kizuna Ai is huge in Japan, so it was to help smooth over things there. For people who probably downloaded the game for Kizuna Ai and have stayed this entire time, even if people don't take Kizuna Ai, if you just took it away from them, that's going to break some kind of law. Like, there's like very stringent laws in Japan about that kind of stuff. If you take it away, it's going to ruffle some feathers. That's why, one of the reasons why I think people are unsure about whether Espo will come back, because it's like, hey, you took away the emotes. You took away some of the features that people might have wanted from this collab. Leader or volume? Disregarding that a leader is a unit of volume. Are we talking about which one do I like more or which one's meta? Because the answer is leader either way. Whose appearance do I prefer? Volume, not close. But I like leader. She's funny. Leader is basically the Alencia of Nikke. In her haste, it doesn't seem like she's able to retrieve the magic embedded within the machines either. I'll have to ask the others for help once more. Perhaps it'll be worth the risk to steal a glimpse at her spells. What a waste. I need to go and retrieve all my precious research data. Needless to say, the contents are all perfectly recorded in this genius's mind. But still, I worked tirelessly on my research. What a shame. An absolute tragedy. Do you know how difficult it was to achieve those results? Well, somehow this doesn't surprise me because, well, once again, Smilegate, your PV gives away too much where Brieg is fighting people and then, you know, Famir uses a spell to help Brieg. Thanks. I thought it was for show. Turns out it's actually accurate. Late? Do you know how shocked I was to get caught so early? If it wasn't for those kids from Nadalon, I could have achieved a more perfect result. A perfect result? I suppose that means more toys for you to puppet around? Are you jealous you can't have any? Want me to make some for you? Enough of that. What of the key? Key? What key? Oh, that. Those annoying outsiders did meddle a bit, but I managed to coax that child. It seems like the curiosity buried deep within their memories is resurfacing as they remember what happened in the past. Now that I've suddenly betrayed them and vanished, they'll probably chase after me. So all I need to do is continue luring them to that place. All in order for that child to find the answer to the key. Okay, so Fenris is important. I see. Is that why? Is that why they use the magic on Amiki? Because they need Fenris to do the thing? It's not the cleanest execution per se, but what I'm hearing is there's still a possibility of success. Could you refrain from nitpicking like that? I'm already feeling agitated, even without you trying to pick a fight. It's frustrating enough blindly following orders. If you don't want to be thrown to the wolves by these humans, then shut your mouth and follow along. The sovereign orders your presence. Damn. Damn. Yeah, I'm really sad also about that. It's Aguri. Sorry if I mispronounced your name, but yeah, I'm still to this day very sad that the Smilegate sponsored stream of Epic 7 with Crony and Kiara turned out the way it did. Because every gacha game that collabs with Hololive is like absolute banger. I was so pumped for that. I was like, oh my god, Epic 7 might get Hololive as a collab. It'd be so good. It's so good for bringing people into the game. It's so good at building hype. It's so good for business. It's just 11 out of 10. Like one of the best things we could have got. And we didn't get a collab. They gave Crony basically just say play it on stream with no direction. Didn't give her a starter account at all. Like nothing to like, it's just like download the game and play it. And it's like, could have given her like an account with like 100,000 Skystones on it to just like go nuts, go crazy on the game. That would have been so good. Like she literally gets like hundreds of thousands, if not like 1 million plus people watching her content. It's like 1 million eyes for free. It's free advertising. It costs you nothing to give an account with like 100k Skystones on it to just go nuts on. But yeah, to be fair, like also Kiara was completely late to the party on that stream. I guess time zones and communication somehow. And that was kind of bad. So overall, just the whole thing was just botched by both parties. Alright. Always so aggravating, you nobles. But like, why? It is so... Like, who is your marketing team? Like, if you know you have a million people will watch your game. Like, right? Like, this is one of the biggest streamers on the platform, right? Like, if you wanted, like, just hypothetically, right? Let's say you have, like, Moist Critical, right? It's like almost 15 million subscribers on YouTube, right? Anything he puts out, 500,000, million plus views easy. Anything, right? If you wanted him to play Epic 7, why would you not give him the most, like, balls to the walls stacked account to show off, like, the limits of the game to build hype? Makes no sense. Actually 0 sense. Thank you for the hydrate, by the way. Is that the end of chapter 5? It was. Cool. I think... Alright, Fugitive Street. Alright. I kind of want to be able to do chapter 6 all in one shot. And considering the pace that it took us to go through 5, that was, how long did it take us to go through 5? Nearly 3 hours. Nearly 3 hours to go through 3 stages. So, I think what we'll do we'll spend like another 5 or 10 minutes and I'll answer any questions you guys have over on the YouTube side. But for those of you guys on Twitch, I'm probably going to switch to Persona 3 Reload because I know there are people that are waiting to see that. Wait, is there no new Tree of Genesis? Was that it? There's nothing new? Trying to send me to the bathroom? What do you mean? But yeah, this was actually really fun. Yeah, I'm still going. You're correct. Over 3 hours, but we are gonna switch over to P3 on Twitch in a little bit. So if you do want to come watch Persona 3, it'll be on twitch.tv/IM_TSU. If anything, at least just check it out for the music. Game's actually fire. I'm having quite a lot of fun with it. It's a remake of one of my favorite JRPGs of all time. Damn, dude, that music just came in hard.
What do I sell? Well, what do you want to buy?
I did not know that, actually. Whew. We're doing good. Alright. Chat, I'm be real with you. Right now, like, I'm slowly accumulating Mystic Metals. I'm probably... Paladus could be the most broken character in the game. I'm probably going to skip it for Senya. Senya is that girl. Senya is that bad bee, if you know what I mean. That is a ride or die girl. Like, that is like, she's on the inner circle of like waifus in this game. ML Senya will be everyone's bride. Yeah, like the short list of like best girls are like in no particular order. It's like Hwa-Young, Surmia, Luna, Kisei, Fumir maybe. Yeah, it's like Corinne, Luna, Kisei, Surmia, Hwa-Young, Celine, Senya. That's probably it, right? That's like the list. And then you got a couple people that are kind of almost there. Like, they're not there yet. Like, Lethe, almost there. Carrot, almost there. Elvira, almost there. Right? Vivian. No, Vivian's on that inner circle. I forgot Vivian. Good looking out, ATK. That's that girl. I would be remiss, bro. I couldn't call myself a Final Fantasy fan and not say that, like, Epic 7's version of Tifa Lockhart doesn't belong in that inner circle. Not Bologna. Nah, Bologna. I think Bologna is overrated. I know I get flack for that a lot. I think Bologna is overrated. I kind of understand a little bit of what y'all are preaching with Bologna, but it's not 100% my cup of tea. Yeah, Vivian is actual honest to goodness wifey material. Vivian's your number one by far, Sinuosity? Yeah, I respect that. I think Vivian's like the total package waifu in this game. Pretty, strong, smart, good leadership qualities. Like, she literally runs a nation. Like, what? There's like literally, you can't fault Vivian on anything. Corinne is slept on. Corinne is one of my favorite characters. Like, I would probably put her in my top 3. Like, it's Surmia, Corinne, Luna is probably my top 3. Vivian's probably not. Vivian, Celine are probably like 4 or 5. I'm all about the Lilibet. No, I actually don't like Lilibet. I actually think both Lilibets are written terribly. I do like designer Lilibet because but that's just because I think that this character design is actually like insanely good. Like, aside from the super short skirt, like, I still think this is like actually one of the better character designs I think in the game. Yeah, as I've said before, though, for those of you guys who weren't there before, like, there's the list of the things Sue looks for in waifus are brawler girls, dragon girls, and sword girls. That's the list. why when Nikke was like, here's Moran, I was like, I'm gonna lose my mind. I need Moran. Kisei and Corinne? Both Vivians are single. Yo, that's so cruel. Both Vivians are single. That reminds me, we were talking about this earlier in the stream, but like, yeah, you can see like Vivian's like the Sage Vivian like has really weird proportions because like they clearly like it's obvious. Like if you look at this Sage Vivian and you look at what Sage Vivian used to look like, you can actually see it. It's one of my thumbnails from when the Awaken announcement was up, like when the Awaken update was announced. Not Awakening Potential, the Awaken update in 2022 when I first started making content. I used the original Sage Vivian as one of my thumbnails, and you could see what I'm talking about when I said they resized everything. Your personal favorite design is Ilanav? I think Ilanav's pretty cool. My problem with Ilanav is even though I think she's a cool character, she looks too much like Jeanne d'Arc Alter. It doesn't feel like a completely unique design. Like, that's why I was saying, like, there is no real character that looks like designer Lilith. Like, yeah, you could, I guess, make, what is it, Nue from Kill la Kill because of the scissor blade, but, like, that's about it. When I was in King Blair's Guild, they all convinced my wife to cosplay Kisei. They all convinced my wife to cosplay Kisei for Halloween. That's pretty sick, actually. Yeah, of the episode 5 characters, Fumir and Elvira are my favorite designs. Do I have gifts for this character? No. I need to use Elvira more. Note to self. I really like this VA. I've said it a bunch if you've seen it in my videos, but Ali Hillis is the voice of Lightning from Final Fantasy 13. Such a badass actress. Nikke needs to rerun Chainsaw Man collab, please. Yeah, I guess they could, but the problem is that like the Chainsaw Man characters aren't particularly that good in that game. I think that's largely just collection purposes. Elvira's expressions art is good. No, dude, let's be real here. The expressions on this character are actually top tier. Like off rip, like only Surmia and Ruel have like expressions that are as good as this character. I don't have her at 10 yet, but her 10's really good. Yeah, her special 3 is pretty funny. Did I get all these yet? Uh-oh. We actually have to finish this. Can't leave the game just yet. Oh, okay, I could just run 2 rifts and be done it. Alright. Any other questions, though? Before I wrap up on this for the night? And move over to P3, like I said, on Twitch.
This is what you get for playing with me.
Alright. In that case, then I am going to wrap it up for the YouTube side of things. I'll be back again tomorrow, probably around 7 p.m. EST, 4 p.m. PST, somewhere around there. You'll see. I'll put up a thumbnail. You'll be able to see it. Hit the notifications and stuff. You'll see it in your subscription feed. Right? We'll do the rest of Chapter 6, and then we'll roll for Laya, and we'll try and build her and see if she's actually that good, right? If you were to choose the next chapter's main part, Raz Mercedes, man. I think that they're good characters. I just think I want to see them more developed. That's what I'd like to see more from the story. I think they're, you know, Mercedes not so much, but Raz is surprisingly unique as a protagonist in this space. I wanna keep seeing him developed. All right, YouTube fam. Like I said, switching on over to P3 for the Twitch side of things. I'll catch you all tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching.